and welcome back to Icewindale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Back with the Icewind Trekkers. They have fully evacuated the 10 towns after the destruction of the Shardland Dragon. Now, with majority of the refugees in Koldahar, they can get back on the main quest of trying to end winter once and for all. There are some key pieces they need to do that, and one of them is on the island of Solstice itself. To get there, there's a couple of methods, but I did learn of some rumors in the Ten Towns that there is a pier known as Ankerduke's Bell, and it's also where it was marked on the Frost Giants map that they found all the way in the lodge, the Frost Giants Lodge. But they just need to make a few preparations before they disembark. So, yeah, let's get some snowshoes and crampons, shall we?
Yeah.
You can actually buy adventuring gear here in Koldahar.
Yes, we need to
I'll
do
show
that.
you to that map.
Yep. I will
It's just-
need to borrow money because I have no money.
How much money do you have? None? Like
I
zero?
have none.
Oh, I thought I was the poorest person in here in the group.
No.
Well, there's party funds. Somebody has like party funds, right? It can't be that much
like
money for.
500
Right.
gold. So, which I think I was going to buy potions with, but I think for some reason we ended up not doing that. So I can spot you what you need.
What,
Yeah,
what
I
do we
just
need to
need-
buy? We need to buy crampons, climbing gear. Is that it?
Crampons, snowshoes, and possibly snow goggles if you don't have them. But I don't know how
Barry's
often
went
you're.
mysteriously missing.
Wait, what? Oh, my goggles, time ago.
Yeah, you bought them back again, but
Yeah, I did. We have 40 gold pieces of 1 gold piece gems, thanks to the wand.
That is true. That would get
Gold
us
should be
both
enough.
of them.
Yeah,
It's,
to get two sets of crampons and boots and goggles.
I've
And
got snow goggles. It's just I don't have the boots or the crampons.
I think I have the boots because how else am I been getting around? But I definitely don't have the crampons or the goggles, so I'll pick.
so it's just 2 gold for the crampons. No problem. Snow goggles, pretty cheap as well.
I have
Snow goggles are like
listed as 5. Not
5 gold. Yeah.
Yep.
5 gold.
We have a cracked spyglass with 250 gold.
I think we're hoping to have Skrapp repair that because that's worth good money, especially if we're going out on the seas. We're gonna need some distance.
Do we need climbing gear as well? Do we have climbing gear?
I don't think we have a climbing kit, but we have like.
Should we
I've
get?
got a grappling hooks.
Should we get a climbing kit? Or
I
no?
have a climbing kit.
I've
do?
got
Okay.
I've got height and some rope, and Barry has his magic rope.
Okay.
That's true.
Then maybe we're okay.
Yeah. So just add the crampons and snowshoes to the sheet, I guess. Just gonna drag them off Skrapp just in case there's any automation that was set up for them.
Crampons. Use the importer. I think yes. Does that work?
You can just type in. You just do Control Space. Type crampons. You'll find them that way.
Yeah.
I've added the goggles already. But that should only really set you back 7 gold.
Oh, okay. Control space. Where? But where in the control space? I was doing that.
When you type.
Quick insert.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then just type in crampons and then drag and drop.
I've added mine on.
I don't see climbers kit on your sheet, Ashanti. Is it somewhere on the?
It's under my bullseye lantern. It may be on the Axby. Well, let me see.
Oh yeah, there it is.
My
I see it now.
consumables. I have
Yep.
Pittance, the Bullseye Lantern, Clemmer's Kit.
Got it.
I have no idea where I got a silver tin, rotten fish, stinking cloud scroll. Why would I have a
Oh,
scroll on
that
my list?
So
that's where it was.
Sir Strumming.
You got the Sir Strumming that we found.
I have no idea.
Yep.
Here, take it off my mind and give it to somebody who actually is a caster.
No, but it's not a caster. It's
not a
more.
spell.
It's literally. It functions like a spell scroll, like that spell. But essentially, it's just a tin of fish that, when you burst open, will cause the stinking cloud effect. So you don't need to be a caster to use it.
Oh, see, it's
Yeah.
telling me in the description.
Is it though? Have a little look at the description again.
Hang on. It's.
Ah, there you go. See, it's so gum.
At level 3, you get a 20-foot radius spear of yellow, nauseating gas.
Yep, that's the full effects.
Mhm.
Yep. So burst it
And it
open,
is-
stinking cloud.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have arrows, fire cage arrows, broadhead arrows, bodkin arrows, whistling arrows. I only have a couple of these each that
Yeah.
I bought just recently. I figured as we're going across the ice, you could be teaching me how to use them more
Yeah.
effectively.
Okay.
I suppose the only other thing then, if we do want to get the spyglass repaired, a quick detour to Sunblight Fortress, because Skrapp would still be there working with the Mind Flower, I imagine. Unless Barry
Okay.
thinks that they can repair it on manually over the journey.
You also
Well, they-
wanted to repair Andy Royd anyway, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I could-
Which-
I could give it a go.
Yeah, but if we want to take a quick detour, that, I mean, now that everyone's here, we're less on a time crunch, I think.
hmm
Still a little bit, because obviously
Okay.
the food and everything won't last forever.
I mean, the
then
607 and party is still trying to get their way into Icelantis.
Yeah,
There's no guarantee that just because they don't have the thing, they won't get in somehow.
true, that does add, but it shouldn't take us too long to get back to Sunblight, just us group.
And to clarify on that, because I don't know how much you know about the city under the glacier. Did you ever get the information out of the prisoner?
Oh,
I believe
Out of
We-
Baelish Gant?
we did. But they said there
Um,
was an entrance.
Except Baelish Gant seems to still be in prison, so in which case
yeah, because we
don't
tricked
have
him,
information.
remember? We tricked him.
Oh,
We got
right.
him onto the boat, remember? And then we betrayed him and got him locked
That's
back up.
right.
Yeah.
But
So-
we don't know a huge amount about it. But we
Information's all the
know
way up.
that there's a book we need in
Okay.
Solstice in order to open it, I believe.
Okay,
This
cool.
is
So
me
he told
trying
you
to.
about the codicil of the white.
Yeah,
That was it.
yeah.
Okay,
And without that, you
So,
can't
yeah.
get in, supposedly.
correct. And the location? Did he tell you that?
I don't remember.
Set
It's
course
been a while.
northwest, 3 days travel to the island of Solstice. Frost Giant Fortress, tome inside. The Solstice of Winter poem.
Northwest,
yeah.
That's the island of Solstice, but they didn't seemingly tell you about the location of the glacier. Okay, so
Entrance to
I-
Icelantis in the Cave of Hunger.
yeah, but where is the Cave of Hunger? You don't know where that is.
Well, we know
So-
we know it's by the Reghead Glacier, I believe. And once we're close,
Mhm.
we can use locate object, potentially on something like 607's walking sticks in order to get or something else to get us
Just
closer.
so you know, the Reged Glacier spans
It's massive,
like,
I
the
know.
entire continent of Icewindale. It's like 50 miles long,
Yeah.
possibly longer. That's just what's on the map. But yeah, okay. All right, so you've
Maybe
got
Phelan can help us because she's got that arcane eye, doesn't she?
Yeah, Valin.
Villain.
Villain, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she does have an arcane eye.
I can't remember
she
anything
also
else that
asked-
Baelish told us.
Villain. Oh, Baelish. Right. Baelish
Yeah.
would have also told you that the Arcane Brotherhood are all trying to work towards getting there. That's the whole reason they were sent here, probably. And that there are no, I don't think he told me much more than that actually. Okay. Villain Harple. Speaking of which, when was the last time you saw her? Oh, she was back in Sunblight, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's likely then she'll just meet you there. All right. So everyone heading back to Sunblight, correct?
Yeah.
Have we finished our shopping?
I think so.
But
I think so.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'll work to fix this spyglass any moment I can. But I don't think I can fix Android.
that will take
Someone with
Yeah.
more intelligence.
All right, cool. All right, then let's just.
Never say more intelligence. I would say maybe more specialized skills. I think
have
you're
six-
very intelligent.
I have 6 intelligence.
You have 6 intelligence. What?
All right, then.
6.
The journey back begins.
His IQ is 6.
See, Ashanti wouldn't know what an IQ is.
this will begin our journey back.
Yeah, so you just take a few days travel to get back. So it's nowhere near as long as what it was on the way here. But it looks like the refugees are settling in. The druids have tried to make makeshift homes for them as best they can. Most importantly, though, they're in warm weather and they have all the food that they could ever want and need. The 10 towners see you off. The speakers say their thank yous, and yeah, I guess you may disembark. All right, we'll skip ahead to Sunblight
Gotta tell
after
you
a couple
guys,
days.
it's hard to go back into the cold again. This feels so nice.
What's the weather like?
Why would you ask such a thing?
Yes.
We've skipped to Sunblight, so clearly the weather was at least survivable.
I think last we checked we were on clear day anyway.
You were.
So we can't go too bad.
It gets a bit foggy on the second day's travel,
That's not too bad.
and then it's like a light snow by the time you reach Sunblight. Yeah. All right. So pretty easy travel. Anyway, when you arrive back in Sunblight, you can meet up with Skrapp. Skrapp can repair Android for you, no problems.
Hey, welcome back, everyone.
Yes. Oh.
I'm so sorry, Scrap. I am so sorry that Android got hurt. I'm really hoping that you can fix her. I cannot tell you how bad I feel about this. It was she was being such a good owl, and she was being a good android. And I am I did not mean to betray your trust in me by letting harm come to her.
Yes, this is quite a dire situation, Cast Mending. There you go.
And it's fixed. The android's little broken wings suddenly click back into place. You see a flicker of red, and then their eyes are suddenly glowing again.
Yeah.
And they seem good as new.
Yep.
Aw.
Yeah. Might not be, probably. I mean, I don't know how readily you'll be able to come back and visit, so probably try to be careful unless one of you learns mending. But yeah. Providing you, I mean, generally I'd probably keep them at a distance due to their flying capability, their range capabilities. But actually, or do they not have range? Do they not have range? I swear they have range. Yes, they do have a ranged attack. Why is that not set up? Why is that saying 5 feet? That should... What?
What kind of a ranged attack would an owl have?
It fires off its
Android.
feathers.
Feathers.
Yep. Like with, imbued with magical energy. Similar to, a magic missile, but, only a single shot, and obviously it has the potential to miss, but,
I didn't know that. That's.
I see in
awesome.
her instructions she's got the 4-strike.
yeah, the 4
geo
strike,
budget, evasion, flyby, and keen hearing and sight.
yeah, so the channel magic's not going to do you much good, that's more you'd need to be me, to do that, because obviously they're linked to me still. But the 4 strike anyone can do. Invasion just makes them less likely to be destroyed by spells that you can dodge rather than resist. And flyby, stops them getting hit as easily when they fly past an enemy. But yeah.
Since she has so many built-in capabilities I didn't know about spells. Mary, do you think that maybe we should let you control Android? I mean, if she can really help you with your spell casting, or Hulla? I mean, you know me, I don't know what y'all do. I mean, it's a big mystery to me.
Does
Hand me a weapon and an
Andy's
enemy.
yours. I mean, the animals are.
I think
Your
I know,
thing.
but if she can really help spellcasters with spells,
I
it's
think that
like
only works
me.
with Skrapp.
Yeah, unfortunately, the spell casting bit only really works with me. The rest all works just by themselves, and anyone can give the command. Most of the time, they're just going to try to dodge to avoid damage unless you tell them otherwise.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to be selfish. I mean, now that
No.
we're learning about some of the new abilities, and
It's all
I
good.
just wanted to be sure that that we absolutely are maximizing our resources out on the trail.
Yeah. Speaking of newer resources, I mean, I'm still working on the spell jammer. Obviously, that's going to take me a bit more time, but I do have this, and they sort of point to a larger draconic mech with a large iron ball on a chain next to it. Do you remember that bigger robot that we fought upstairs? Well, they left the designs behind, so I sort of stole them because they stole from me. And yeah, I think it's got some real potential with some work.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's again for me to pilot when I need to, and by the time you guys are ready to head to the city, I should be able to go into this one as easily as I do the other two, with a rest and a bit of prep, and then a click of a button.
Wow.
Are you gonna be keeping hold of the Sun Star thing,
Well,
Just Sun or Star.
or would that be
I
more
mean,
beneficial for us on the island?
well, the issue is it's probably going to take like another, like 8 days at least to recharge. And that's assuming it's going to get enough sunlight and to recharge again. I think we got lucky with the whole weather and stuff, and a few things allowing it. I'm not sure how much use it'll be.
Discord?
Hello?
I'm
Hello?
losing
Discord
people.
is having.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
I'm
Discord's having
listening,
a
blanking
Jane.
out too.
interesting.
Doesn't it recharge
Only-
after 7 days though?
Um,
So how does it take 8 days?
I don't think it does. I think, or normally it would, but because of the winter, it takes longer, possibly. I'm pretty sure, Chris, out of character, we said that it was like a 10-day to recharge or something like that, if it
Yes.
recharged at all.
Correct. Yep.
Can't remember because it's not an item on the things we can click.
So 10 days.
And yeah, and it's been what, 3-4 days? It'd probably be 6 days actually until it's recharged.
Mhm. Precisely.
Yeah, we used it on the first day and it took us 7 days to get to Kaldahar. And then
Okay.
2 days to get back. So it's probably a day or two.
I mean, it might be
Which-
worth waiting to save. I mean, considering the first time we used it, it drew the White Walker things, Cold Light Walkers. It might be not a great idea to use it on the island, but it might be good to take with us to Icelantis. I mean, its design is based on stuff in the Netherese style, so we might be able to learn or make a better version there, or it might be needed to power a bigger version there.
Okay. I was just
But that's just one kobold's thoughts on the matter. Not the only one here.
How about another kobold's insights? Is Velin enters the chat along with her 6 kobolds, and she's like,
Skrapp
Lynn.
looks at them for a moment. You're not kobolds in a trench coat secretly this entire time, are you?
"Oh, I'll never tell."
I would
What are you
explain.
doing?
No. Well, I've been good. I've been waiting for your arrival. I see that the escort went without any troubles. Or
Nothing
if
we
there was
couldn't
troubles,
We
handle.
lost
overcame
like
them.
12 people. When I had to get into like 5 fights, it was probably fine. On average.
Again, nothing we couldn't handle.
All right. Well
And
then.
to be perfectly frank, losing 12 people in a 1,000-people caravan is really well. I mean,
Seems like a lot. Like losing anybody seems like a lot, but I guess I don't know.
it does. I mean, to them and their families, yes, that was devastating.
It's
But
acceptable margins when it's a matter of life and death, and
yeah, I mean, and in the 1,000 heads coster, it would have been inconceivable that we'd lost anybody. But on some of the bigger caravans that were run by Joaquim's clerics, we were lucky if we didn't lose 100 people out of it. I mean, a
Wow.
tenth of the people. I mean, it's just there's so much that can go wrong on the trail.
that's
And
why it's called the 1,000 heads minus 12.
well, ours was called the 1,000 heads because, it's a snake with 1,000 heads can never be killed. Cut off one head and another one appears. Referring to all the adventurers that had retired and taken up guard positions just so they could still continue on with their life, and if they had to go out, they could go out in a blaze of glory.
As you're recounting the story, she mentions, You forget just how vicious wolves can be. I once heard a story of another army of wolves attacking a city before, and, well, it was like they were at war with the damn things, but that's a story for another time. But I'll put the YouTube link in the chat because it's actually worth
you-
watching.
which you've already
It's really
done.
interesting.
So we've dealt with so many wolves now. We had a whole horde of them on the way there. We've dealt with wolf tribes. We've dealt with awakened wolves, magical awakened wolves, shall I say?
Winter
But,
wolves.
Yeah, I
Guys.
think we're good against wolves.
Guys, so
Mhm.
you are the wolf clan, right?
You are the
Yep.
wolf clan.
Or you are the wolf
Just
clan.
you.
Well, I was part of one of the wolf tribes groups, yes, which you have dealt with most of the members of, I think, or a large chunk of them, but not the entire wolf tribe.
Who's
We
left?
attempt. There'll be other packs. Mine was just one of them.
Oh,
But
okay.
Frosteye would be the one left leading my pack, providing he's still alive until I get back.
Should we go deal with him? Is he on the way or?
Frosteye's fine. He's a good guy. He practically raised me.
Not a cannibal then.
No.
Okay.
In my vision, he may have been eaten, so that's worrying. But
Not a cannibal.
though, Velin, you specialize in like undead and stuff, right?
I do.
Where?
Necromancy.
Yeah. Whilst we were escorting, we were asked by the Bear Tribe to deal with some Shardlin berserkers, but these were different to other ones we've faced in that there was a strange blue light, like a magical light, that was keeping them, like, kept coming back, like they were unkillable until we dealt with that light. I'm not sure if that's like any magic you would have heard of, as it was basically stopping them dying. And they were sort of dead, brought back, and then that, I guess.
I'll roll her Arcana check. 16. Was you say it was like a blue flame?
Yeah, a blue
What is-
flame, and it had like a woman,
Earlier?
like a spirit of a woman or something, like forming in like was it the smoke, Chris?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And the visage was kind of feminine. Her hair was like a frozen waterfall that can like drape down behind her. She does say, sounds like it might be more of the divine orientation. I haven't heard of that kind of magic before. It sounds more preventative than it does bringing back someone from the dead. So it's unlikely it's necromancy, more perhaps abjuration.
Okay.
That said, if there was anyone who did know, probably be Professor Scant.
And that's the one that
They were kidnapped with a former colleague of mine, Nas Lantamir. They're a scholar, and well, it's their knowledge that could help us when we descend into Yithrin.
Yithrin?
So we need to go get this person, throw him over his shoulder,
She
and carry him
nods.
off.
She nods and says, "The Nethri city is known as Yithrin. We learnt much from Professor Scant before they were stolen away, and it's likely Nas is after the same things. Last we heard, they were acquiring passage across the sea. So if we find Nas, we find Professor Scant. But but she could be after the codicil of weight.
Interesting.
It's apparently what contains that spell or ritual. But we'll need that to carve a passage through the Reged Glacier, under which the lost city Yithrin is buried. Now, there is the worry, of course, if we're going to the island of Solstice, that we encounter Oriel. That said, I guess you could say that
Somebody needs to encounter her.
Yeah, it's a good thing, right? We
Right.
encounter Oral, we beat Oral, game done. I mean, job done.
I
If
just wish to point out the obvious, and that is that any god who chooses to live among mortals is hiding from something. And anyone who needs to hide can't be all that powerful. Right?
See?
that
Can
is,
beat her, no problem.
You can win.
hmm,
I've ridden dragons. I don't mind adding Build a God to my CV.
You're gonna ride a god?
Oh, no. That would be highly inappropriate in this setting.
I mean, I suppose that would depend on the god, because if it was like Bahamut, then it would be like riding a dragon and a god. But
I'm just trying to talk tough. I'm not sure. I'm not
but
sure about what the direction this conversation's
it
going.
if the fact Nas might be there makes me want to go with you, but I've still got stuff I need to do here. But if you guys are going up against Nas potentially, Skrapp pulls out a bottle of a strange greenish liquid and offers it to the party. One of you should probably take this.
And this is...
A potion of acid resistance. Last time I ran into Nas, looks over at the other kobolds, they used acid magic to bring some of the kobolds down. It's the only spell I know that they've got. So it might help keep you alive. Lasts an hour, so who wants it?
Maybe Ashanti should take it if she's going to be up in the fighting, like close by. You know, our advance guard, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm going to forget it. I'm going to let y'all hold on to these things, and if you think I should use it, just hand it to me and tell me to use it. My big thing is I'm going to stuff it in a backpack, and then, it's never going to occur to me to pull it out instead of my beautiful halberd. So when I start to focus on fighting, that's all I can think about is the next swing, the next move, the beauty in the balance between, my arms and the halberd and the enemy's head, and how they're all going to come together.
I just wish sometimes you would think more about protecting yourself and realizing that you need to stay alive to cut off heads, you know? I mean, it seems obvious, but sometimes I feel like you don't watch your own back. That makes me worried for
Yes,
you.
I guess, but when you're in the heat of the battle, I mean, everything is so clear. I mean, it's you, it's your weapons, and it's the enemy, and there is nothing else that matters in that moment. There are no doubts, no fears. It's pure. It's hard to describe how time slows down almost when you can go into, they call it a rage, but to me it is almost one of the purest forms of being, when you are just one. There's nothing outside that moment at this swing, and you don't know if you're going to miss or if you're going to hit, but there's that moment where everything makes sense. It's hard to think about living past that when it's so, I don't even know, have the word transcendent to live in it.
You got us to take care of you anyway. It'll be fine.
Yes, exactly. I've got y'all to think about the moments before and the moments after, so that I can live in the moments, in the battle. Far was such a great team.
Oh, Hulla, you're the wise one of the group, so I'll give it to you, and I've put it on your sheet. You can decide when's best to drink it or have someone else drink it, or in this case, if necessary, force it down Ashanti's throat.
I think okay.
You see one of the
yeah.
kobolds with the flesh dissolved off, kind of like reaching up for it like a child with like grabby hands.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm writing a note to myself. Give to Ashanti before fight with Nas. Save because of kobold deaths, etc.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Skrapp will pat that kobold on the head. You don't need it.
Yes, we do. Our friend's faces got dissolved off last time. A melted acid arrow came straight into the group.
But you're not going with them to face Nas, so are they Velen?
We go where Velen goes. Yes, but it might be a bit treacherous. Let's figure out how we're actually getting over there first, because as far as I'm aware, we don't have a game plan for that. When we were in Revel's End, we learnt that Nas took one of the ships and set sail from their port, but they never returned.
I think, was it called? Oh, Rel's End. Didn't some people say something about an Ankajuka?
Ankajuka spell.
Whatever that means.
Indeed. Let me just check something.
We do have this X on the map that's right by the water. Maybe that's somewhere we can get a boat from.
So they departed with a galleon known as the Wicked Eddy, is what you learnt. Nonetheless, yeah, never returned. As for Ankajuke's Bell, you could ask around Bremen for like full rumors. Although there's not many people left in Bremen, are there?
We did hit.
Wait, you stopped them at Bremen.
We didn't.
We got some information about Ankajuke's Bell, but I do not remember out character what it was. Like we found out the name, and I believe we found out it was a port of some kind, but it might be like a frost giant port.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, you stopped the dragon at Termalaine, which means you saved Bremen, technically.
No, we didn't stop
we
at
stopped at
Termalaine. We
Targos.
stopped at Targos. Bremen fell and all.
Oh, damn.
We stopped Termalaine going, but they still carried on to Lonely Wood and Bremen, and then we stopped them at Targos.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then looks like you're just gonna have to set off then. Targos might know a little bit though.
We have to go to Bremen just to pick up Sheila, because that's where I sent her.
Correct.
Yeah.
We could over here.
Just make a quick detour on the way.
Back at your church, I think it was.
Yeah.
You sent her.
Also, just
more or less on the way.
Quick question, sort of Skrapp related. So Spellix was obviously one of the refugees or one of the people in one of the towns.
Yes.
Would Spellix have
come? He was in Brynshanda, wasn't he?
Yes, and we've now evacuated most of them. Yeah.
He would have stayed in Brynshanda because they didn't need to be evacuated necessarily.
Yeah. That is fair. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
Spellix is an important NPC to return back to purely because when you were in the Lost Spire of Netherrealm, you found some books, and he has
Yes.
been busy reading
Translating them.
and translating them from an old language, a very
Yes.
ancient language.
Yeah, because he had the Magical Wonders of Netheril and the Netherese Brain Book.
Correct. Yep. All right. And I think he also had a book on something known as Faerun, but anyway, we'll get onto that. In the meantime, it's not important you stop like with them now, but you can if you want to go there. But you can always go talk to him when you get back from Island of Solstice. Sorry, if you get back from the Island of Solstice.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're the Icewind
so,
Trekkers. We can survive anything. At least one of us.
All right.
That's right.
In that
and
case,
you know, we caught that veiled threat there. You know, we heard you. Just makes us more determined to survive to
Yeah.
thwart
In
that
fact,
plan.
Skrapp is going to send Steve to Spellix to see if they can get any information out of them. Maybe just some basics about what they've learned, not the details, because obviously you wouldn't want to send that in a letter in case it's intercepted. But
okay. Well,
yeah,
you might be heading through that way anyway. It's just purely up to you if
yeah,
you would like the information now. But I think just sending Steve works as well. So we'll say Steve
yeah,
gets back to you when they need to.
yeah.
You gonna go straight to Targos then from Sunblight
Yeah, see
and
if we
then
can.
onwards to Bremen?
Yeah, I mean, the only other people that might have information would be the whalers, but I think those were in Lonelywood, right?
Mm-hmm. They were.
Yeah, so probably should have spoken to them before we left Coldahar, but oh well.
Lonelywood wasn't that? Oh yeah, that was also destroyed.
Yeah, we stopped them in Tourmaline, and I don't know if Tourmaline had any whalers, because they're more the
No.
gem people.
Okay. All right. So when you arrive back at Targos, you actually probably catch up to Sheila at this point. they they've been making their way towards Bremen this whole time. And yeah, you sense your necklace kind of alerting you that Sheila is nearby, and
Sheila,
eventually
baby,
Sheila is
I missed you.
stops halfway in their tracks, turns around, and as you say, you miss them. They go in for a hug. Why not? It's a cold
Aww.
metal hug,
I
but they are
squeeze
here
back, and it
nonetheless.
makes absolutely no dent in the armor.
Yeah, exactly. Like hugging a big lamppost. Um, all right. Valin's got her sled of kobolds. You guys have got your axe beaks. Anything you want to do in Targos or Bremen before you head out?
I
We
suppose
probably want to pick
just
up on some rations for the siege, or not for the sea journey, but
Hmm.
what we can, because I don't know what's going to be available in Duke's Bell.
I thought we did some up in Coldahar.
Did we?
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay. All right. Good. Never mind then.
I could be. I mean, I could be wrong.
I mean, I suppose
No,
briefly stop in Targos to see if anyone has information on Ankh-Duke's Bell or the Sea of Moving Ice, I guess, outside of the Dragon and the Reaper.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Bring up Targos.
You know, so we're not going in quite as blind as we normally do.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right. Welcome back to Targos. There's a couple of other things highlighted on the map now, because I went through and kind of revisited all the towns. But yeah, all the other NPCs you remember are here. Garrett, Keegan. Even I think Torga Icefane, she escaped here as well. There's an old crusty fisherman known as Justin, using the Triglio. You got Russell, who's like the ex-knight in the Trip and Shuffle. Or there is the Luskan Arms, which was where the family operated from.
Oh,
But
we're in a safe
we'll
town. Probably split up and search for clues, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe split into
How do we
split into
two groups?
two groups. Each one takes a high charisma character.
I'll go with Barry then.
I think that's both the high charisma characters going together. The warlock and the warlock and the bard being our charisma half faces. I mean, are there any dwarves who would be particularly knowledgeable of the seas or anything around that area here?
And Berlin answers that. Unlikely dwarves will know much about the sea. They like to keep their feet on the ground.
True.
But sailors, old fishermen are our best bet.
Right.
Of course, Keegan's more of a. Oh, he's the stay-at-home husband. Garrett's the more mountain climber. But your best bet's probably Justin
Yeah, let's go speak to them, I guess.
or Russell.
Well, how are we breaking up the groups though? I guess we should decide that before we just go. Obviously, me and Barry cannot be on the same group.
I
So
mean,
2 groups with 1 of you each.
Yeah, I think
We
that's
just
the
sort of roam the taverns.
yeah.
Who wants to come with me and who wants to go with Barry?
Oh, I don't really mind.
Okay, then
Rock, paper, scissors.
you come with me, and then
Yeah.
the 2 of them can rock paper scissors for.
Yeah, I'll go with you. We might as those that have come back. No, that would also include Barry. I was about to say those that have come back from the dead should probably stick together, but that would include Barry.
I'm still in progress. I'm still coming back from the dead. The process is just not done yet. Okay, don't. I'm a little slower than you are.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
But yeah.
I'm still dead.
Well,
undead.
Only technically. You're alive in our hearts.
Yeah. Me and you will go off, and we'll leave the other 3 to go off. That probably works.
Okay, yeah. Let's just go. While they're doing the rock paper scissors, we just walk off.
Yeah. Villain will go with Barry. Okay, so who's going where?
Did you have a plan for where you wanted to go?
I mean, there's 2. We'll go see Justin, or I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the other group can see the other one.
Right. So probably Russell then. Okay, so we'll go with Justin then first, since he's the most likely candidate to know what's going on. The old store's proprietor, Justin Henry. He's a scarecrow-like fellow who's probably fished all his life. And you remember he's the one who lost his left hand, was crushed in a collision with a boat from Tourmaline. When you walk in, he's still singing that Ashanti that is where the store gets its namesake. Triglio, lads, and hoist upon the line. Triglio, lads, and bring yon fishers in. And he turns around, sees you, tips his little bucket hat, covered in barnacles. Ahoy there. Welcome to the Triglio. And,
Good morning.
Is there anything I can get you? Morning.
Yeah. Oh.
Good day to be
Yeah.
alive, isn't it?
I'll take your word for it.
Ah. Well, what can I do you for? He puts his big hook on the front desk.
We
Looking to
are
swap stories or swap
looking.
gold?
I think we're looking for information.
Hmm.
Yes. Do you know
Yes.
much of the
Stories it is,
Sea
then.
of Moving Ice?
Aye, we sailed it many years before retiring here, but gave up going anywhere near that hellish ocean ever since the stories of the White Reaper. Not to mention the dangers in the skies as well. I speak, of course, of Oril's Rock.
Oh, we thought you were on about the dragon.
Oh, we
Yeah,
killed.
Ah,
a rock's not too
aye,
bad.
that's
You're not-
another one.
Seen many rocks.
And then there's the freezing cold water, the glaciers, icebergs. That damned ocean just wants to kill you in a million different ways.
Hmm.
It's treacherous.
Why
Treacherous
did you keep
waters.
going back?
Wait, is everybody here?
Oh,
I
sorry.
thought we left. I thought we left you guys behind.
Yeah, this is just me and David, which I'm sure I'm butchering still, even though I'm an elf. You'd think I'd get the pronunciation right now.
David.
My bad. My bad. I was away from my computer for a moment, and
No problem.
you guys split the pie. I'm not
We
here.
don't keep going back. Rather, it's more to do with the fact that 2 years ago, the waters froze over. Many of our own boats in this dock are still stuck in the ice.
And we are looking to improve that situation.
Ah,
That's where you come in. You have the information we want, or possibly want.
well, I can
See.
tell you, there ain't many boats that go onto the Sea of Moving Ice anymore. I mean, even our own boats have to be dragged half a mile across the ice just to get to open water in the lake. But there used to be an old pier where boats would come in, do some small trade. Other than that, there was the Revel's End that saw most of the ships.
This small
But
pier you've mentioned, where was that?
That would be Ankaduke's Bell. Some distance to the west of Bremen.
Can you point to it on a map possibly? Is that
Oh, aye.
because we have a map, I think. Maybe you could point us in the right
Yeah.
direction, so at least we could get to that point safely, and then we will go on the Sea of Moving Ice and head to Oral's Rock at some point, probably, to make the situation better for everybody.
Ooh, you Oral's Rock. Yeah. Do you mean the island or do you mean the bird?
The
Yeah.
bird. What do you mean the bird?
Oral supposedly has a giant bird that flies about.
Oh, that rock. No, I think we mean the island. I think we're
Yeah.
talking about the island.
Oh, the Misty Isle. That's where they say she lives. Among the bergs in the Sea of the Moving Ice.
Mm-hmm. That's
But,
why we want to go there.
well, I would say that it's impossible to go there via boat. Unless, of course, that boat happened to be able to go under the bergs and glaciers.
Oh, is that a thing that can happen? I didn't know boats could go. I thought boats below the water was generally a bad thing.
There's just as many dangers under the water, aye, but call me crazy, but I've heard the tales. There are some boats that can do that, apparently.
I mean, that would have, I suppose, as the White Reaper seems to stay on the surface, as does the Dragon and the Rock, and as do the glaciers to some extent, I would imagine we can go under. We're avoiding most of the dangers, even if there are still some.
Mm-hmm.
Why would we find such a boat?
Well, your best bet is asking Ankajuk yourself. They're likely knowledgeable on it.
So we have to go to Ankerduke's Bell anyway to get to our
Yeah.
underwater boat.
Aye.
But you said speak to Ankerduke. Who is Ankerduke?
Ankajuk is a mighty strange whale. Swims around in those frigid waters. I bet you they know where the island is as well. But the old anchorage had a bell on the pier. They say those who ring it call to the beast and summon it.
That's why it's called Ankerduke's Bell. You go, you bring. Okay, I got it. I'm catching up here. Sorry.
This is all good information.
If my understanding is correct, then we go to the bell, we ring the bell, the whale, not person, comes to us and tells us where this under-marine ship is. And then we can take the under-marine ship through the sea of moving ice to the island rock where Oro lives, possibly. Am I getting this right? Is this all tracking? I look to veterans.
You sound as crazy as I am.
So basically, go there, ring a bell, talk to a whale. The whale will give us information about where we can find the island, where we can find the ship.
The undermarine ship, yeah.
And then we can get there. I mean, considering some of the stuff we've dealt with recently, or in general.
How do we get to the ship if it's already under the water, though? Because we've seen a couple times that being in the water right now is not really good for our health.
Beats me.
I mean, you'd imagine it also would come to the surface, maybe. Because otherwise, how would...
I guess so.
Because
Maybe
otherwise nobody could get... Because otherwise nobody could get on board it unless they can breathe underwater. At that point, they don't need a boat.
I mean, we don't need the axe beaks to get from town to town, but it certainly helps.
True.
Right?
True.
Just think of it that way. It's like if you can breathe underwater and swim, but you could also take a vehicle that's faster and easier. Then.
I wonder what powers sit, because like most boats you sell are oars, but you couldn't have oars because all the water would flood in. Can't have sails underwater.
Well, you could probably put a tarp over the top of the boat to keep the water out, and then the sails just sort of they do their thing, right? You sail underwater.
Maybe. Well, we'll have to go and see, I guess.
Either way, I hope you appreciate the information. Now, how would you like to buy some chum?
Would that help?
He puts a bucket of minced fish guts on the counter.
I'll buy a bucket.
This chum money can buy.
How much is it? How much is one bucket of chum?
Let's say like 3 gold.
3 gold.
Money can buy.
I was gonna say I thought 1 gold.
This
I'd
is
be
premium.
generous. Oh my god.
Premium
I'll give you.
chum, and it's a whole bucket's worth.
What can I
It's
get
a
for
lot of
one?
chum.
What can I get
Like
for
it's a
1
ton.
gold? What can I get for 1 gold?
Like
Can I get like
maybe some bait.
a to-go box of chum for 1 gold?
Yeah, it'd be
Like
like
a smaller.
it'd be like a tiny tin. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do a to-go tin for 1
Ah,
gold. Three
sure.
golds. Oh, that's like a lot of my money. I'm not very rich.
It's a lot of chum.
Oops.
Well, we've
I was
got
trying to get
plenty
you the
of chums in the
bargain
party.
bucket deal.
Although I have a feeling now we're gonna need to come back and get the full bucket at some point, and we're gonna be kicking ourselves.
family
for not getting
bucket.
it. The family
Yeah.
bucket. The bucket meal. Yeah.
I mean, we could send Sheila back to get it if we need it, but that might take a while.
Yeah. Sheila's kind of slow. So as good
Okay.
as tough as she is, she's a little slow. But yeah. Okay. So we know where the place to go is then, and then we know where
Yeah.
we need to sail to, and then we know we need to get an undermarine ship. Okay. Good. Productive, and we got some chum. So you made a
Yep.
sail.
Yep. Well, we'll
Thank
see you later,
Thank you
chum.
kindly.
We'll see you
Ah.
on the high seas as well.
All right, try
Or
not to
below
lose your
them.
hand. And he gives a little wave with his hook. And yeah, meanwhile, the other group have walked over to the Trip and Shuffle. This is the second best location that was mentioned. And you can speak to Russell. He is a. Let's have a look. Where the heck? We're in Targos, right? Three Flags Sailing. Well, where's that?
I'm
Oh,
going
that's
to be
that's that one. Okay.
walking over. I'm just like, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I don't know what we're after here. We
We're looking. Okay, so we know where the pier is that we need to get to, but we don't have a ship when we get there, and we also don't have like someone who knows the waters. Like
We-
usually around a
you
port town, you would hire temporarily like a pilot, right? And what they do is they come out to your ship and they know that area specifically really well. So they know where all the dangers are and the hidden rocks, and they know how to navigate. So like we need a specialist, kind of, because I can sail any boat, but not when it's full of icebergs. And yeah, we need a local guy, I think.
we need
So
to hire a captain.
yeah, well, a navigator, yeah, but
Oh,
so, or a captain, either one.
is it
And maybe a captain with their own ship would be like the ideal.
really that hard to point northwest and just keep going there?
Yes. It's not like walking, right? You can't just go. You got to know where the winds are, you got to know where the currents are, because you can't always sail straight in the direction you want to go. You kind of have to, a lot of times it's a zigzag pattern, and sometimes it's even like a zigzag pattern that goes in a swoop, so that you go around the dangers, and that ends up being quicker than going, as the crow flies. It's a whole thing. There's an art.
Villain says, "Well, it sounds like we got our navigator right here.
Yeah,
Being
that
so well versed in sailing."
Well, I know the southern waters though, like the southern trade winds and the currents there. But I mean, I crashed my last ship because I didn't
Ah,
know the
right.
water. So
Uh,
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
yes.
that's
Almost
good
forgot
then.
about that.
So you'll know exactly what not to do next time.
yeah. I want to say I need a couple more practice runs before I take over. I mean, I'll be a first mate, and I can run the ship, and I can do whatever instructions are needed. But we want someone who is native, if you catch my drift,
So we're going to try and hire
Okay.
Russell. Is that what the plan is?
or someone he knows maybe. If we can convince him to come with us, that'd be great.
So So Russell's the guy that tipped you off that Torga Icevane was hiding in the
Yeah.
crate.
Oh yeah,
He'd
he was a,
got them passage, and he let you know where she was.
yeah, for the
Alright.
right coin he'll do anything.
Mm-hmm. So as you walk into the bar, this used to be, when you walked in last time, it used to be full of kind of rough and rowdy types. It's looking a lot quieter now, but the Trip and Shuffle is establishment that's simply furnished even, almost resembling kind of a barracks as well. And the cleanliness of the tavern stands in stark contrast to a few of its customers. But the proprietor, Russell, is sort of leant back on the bar. He's got this big scar down one side of his face, massive brown bushy beard, and he just seems to be cleaning the countertop as you walk in. He looks up, sees you guys, well-equipped party, and just you see one of his hands kind of leaned down towards the underside of the bar, but he doesn't produce anything. You just see him perhaps resting his hand on a lower shelf.
Hulla holds up her hands in surrender. Like, and she says, "It's okay. We're not here to pick any fights. Don't worry.
If anything,
We got weapons coming out the each end, but it's not a. We're not here. We're just here to talk, and maybe drink."
maybe offer some coin for a bit of service.
Raises his eyebrows. You say coin. What kind of service is that?
Have you ever heard of Solstice?
He scratches his head. Talking about the island.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of it. No
Ever been?
sailors who dare to go there have ever really returned. And I mean, there's been a lot of ships who've tried it.
Have
I
you
would-
ever sighted it?
Not with my own two eyes. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be standing in front of you right now.
Well, wouldn't that be quite the tale to tell if you were one of the first?
The reason why I retired here is because I gave up that adventurous life. That's how I stayed alive. And I intend to live out the rest of my days, enjoying some peace and quiet. No, I'm not going to be lured in by any wanderlust.
How much
Yeah.
peace?
That place
Fine.
is suicide.
Really? You really want to just wither away? You have known adventure. You have known the highs and the lows of the trail. And you just want to sit here knowing that the trail is still out there? That it's still going places? That there are places you haven't seen, things you
I'm gonna
haven't
stop you right
done?
there. I already escaped death once. And he kind of gestures towards his eye. I escaped a death sentence in my homeland of Chondathan. It's not gonna be a second chance.
See, the
Well-
benefit of
Are
this
you-
is we're going to be
this
the
is
ones risking our lives, right?
This
You
is
can-
a form of dying. Sitting here day in and day out, hoping that you're just going to wake up breathing the next day. That is
Yep.
dying.
I mean, is it really retiring from dangers and adventure when you're in the Icewindale? There's been murderers, giant dragons flying through the sky. There's been dwargers, What else should I keep on naming? Is the island really more dangerous than being here?
Hmm.
Or you could have one, maybe the last, you never know, adventure, and just think of all the people who would want to come see the great sailor that went to the island of Solstice and back.
I don't really want to get a name for myself. Don't really want fame and fortune. Considering there's probably still a bounty out there on my head for killing that corrupt lord.
Well, use a pseudonym then. How about Coin?
I'm afraid the answer is a no. The
Wow.
names are
Can you
only
sit
adding to the
here?
list.
How?
There's too many ships. I've lost count, but every single one has gone and never come back. The latest being the Wicked Eddie. But before that, there was the Drowned Squall. There was the Black Mast. And he goes on to list, I will say, probably another half a dozen ships
That
that have gone there, and with the express motive of exploring this place as an expedition.
well, that's fine then.
Yeah.
We just won't give the ship a name.
Right.
So
And those
let's
are the lucky
say-
ones, by the way. Supposedly, those are the ones that actually got to the island. Many more didn't even make it past the treacherous species that live in the sea. There used to be frost giant kingdoms and storm giant kingdoms back then, but I think they've all
See?
just sunk to the bottom.
They didn't have what you will have. You're going to have us. And
Lady,
we have accomplished the most
convincing me.
amazing things. We have. You have never seen the back of a Shardlin dragon's head. You have not tasted the blood of your enemies in your mouth and in the middle of a blizzard. There are
telling you.
still so many things worth seeing out there, places to go, and we need you to take us there. We need your expertise, we need your knowledge. We will take you there and bring you back with so many tales to tell that you could live the rest of your life drunk at a tavern and never tell them all.
I see you coming across super compelling, but I'll tell you what, you can roll me a persuasion check, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be disadvantage, only because there is already a precedent that he does not want to go. Like, he is flat out refusing, but we'll see if there's
Well,
even a slight inkling that he
I
wants
have
to.
a
give
negative
guidance
2.
by raising my eyebrows a couple of times and being like, "Huh? You see? You listening?
You
Huh?"
can give guidance, yeah.
I was really trying to
I
put
know
my
you
point
have a negative
across.
modifier.
Yeah, 5. 5, yeah. That
Yep.
doesn't surprise me. With my
Yeah.
negative 2, that makes it a 3. So,
So 5, back to 5. Okay, so look,
do
he
we
goes.
really need this guy?
"L-
That's what I need to
Listen,
know from
lady,
Hulla.
you're wasting your time. I'm not going anywhere beyond these 4 walls." And he gestures around him. The Trip and Shuffle is my safety. It's my home. And I can't just up and leave that either. I will say the coin has dried up a bit in here. That's sure. That's true. Ever since the family left, it feels like there's a lot less thugs buying drinks in here. But
Yeah,
I've really
we don't
stopped
know.
caring.
We don't know anything about that. So, okay,
Hmm.
here's the thing. We need to go with you or without you. That's just the way things are.
You don't understand the logistics of even getting out of the dock. There is no ships out in the sea of moving ice.
Exactly.
You'd
That's
have
why
to
we need
you'd
you.
have to depart from Revel's End. And even then, there ain't many ships that do that either.
So if you don't want to come with us, is there someone who's brave enough to do it?
Yeah, we need someone brave.
You mean desperate enough to do it?
No, someone brave. Someone
No,
who's
brave
willing to
is
fight the way
there's
to.
brave and then there's stupid. Going to the island of Solstice is stupid. So you need
Well,
someone desperate. And the most desperate people I know are the whalers. Because they're the only ones still going out there in the freezing cold to acquire food from that side of the coast.
I
And
think
of
a
course,
whaler.
oil.
Whalers know their business, especially up here.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they're not here at the moment. They've already departed a while back. After the dragon's attacks died down, they decided to set off again. They were hauling some big barrels as well.
Barrels
Not
of
sure
what?
what for.
Hmm.
Well, actually, maybe I do know, but need something to remind me. My mind isn't what it used to be, but for
Hulla
some
slides
reason,
a
I
gold
don't know
piece
why. But
across the
there you
across
go.
the bar.
Shiny
Yeah.
things. Shiny things definitely
They're good for the
make
memory,
me
eh?
pick
I
up.
know.
That's right. Yeah, they were shifting oil.
Whale oil?
No, more like lamp oil.
That's whale oil.
Well then, oil it is. They were. It's more of the refined stuff though.
Hmm.
More flammable.
Yep. Do you know why? Did
Mhm.
anybody give a hint?
No, not really. I suppose they've got some strange hunting techniques.
Whale oil. That's
All I know
unusual.
is it's not good for the environment.
Environment. It's not a word I've heard before.
Well, oil sits on the top of the water, creates a slick, and that stuff's like poison for fish.
Mm.
So I can only imagine it's either that or they're planning on burning something to the ground.
Oh, what a coincidence.
But
All right.
they left here with Logan Nine Fingers, I believe. He was with them.
Isn't he the one? He looks
He-
to Ashanti and Barry. Isn't he the one that we've fought with already?
The
In
thief.
that the from the the cult rescue mission.
That's right. That's the one.
Yeah. I had. I don't trust that guy.
No. Well, I guess we've done as much we can here. We were looking for someone who was looking for an adventure, looking to be brave, and all we found was a coward. So I guess we should take our leave.
What's your names, by the way? Just so I know what to put on the tombstones.
How about none of your business, and go fuck yourself. Take care.
Oh, that's okay.
He lifts up a
Sorry.
heavy crossbow from behind the bar and rests it on the table.
sorry. My
Yeah.
friend was mean, and
I walk out.
yeah. I'm sorry. He's just really grumpy and frustrated because he hasn't had a chance to be with his wife in a while, and that can eat at a man. And I just I'm gonna reach across and offer him my hand.
Hmm. He looks down at the hand, but just gives you a nod instead. And he says, if you do care for your friend, you should convince him against this adventure. This idea will get you all killed. If not the sea,
I have
then the goddess of ice herself.
I have a way of I think I've got an idea of how we're gonna live. Shanti sweeps the crossbow off the cabinet, reaches over, and grabs him.
Oh.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
Oops.
Oh, yeah, you just swat the crossbow away. Imagine it goes off like the trigger, like fires into one of the backs of the chairs, and splinters of wood fly across the bar. He's then suddenly like you're pulling him like by the
Over
scruff
the
of the neck,
bar,
like over the
over the
counter.
bar,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say, "Hulla, where's the rope? If you
What?
want him, I have got him."
Oh,
I like-
you kidnapping this guy?
I like how Barry shows a little bit of aggression, and the team just go, right, aggression it is.
Oh my god, you're kidnapping this guy with you. That's insane.
We have to save the 10 pounds. This guy can help us. If he's not gonna help us willingly, he's gonna help us because
God.
he suddenly has to live through it too.
This is
It's a
insane.
surprise every
Okay.
time when she does this. I'm so sorry about this.
Okay.
He's like, "What the? Get your hands off me!" And yeah, you can tie him up if you want.
Yep.
You'll have to give me an
alright.
athletics as well.
Anything
Hulla?
you want from
Athletics?
here before we head
Yeah.
out, mister?
There's so many mixed tales of the Icewind Trekkers. All the good they did. I don't remember them doing good. I remember them torturing people and tying them up.
I'm
My
not
guidance
torturing
goes
him. I'm just tying him up.
No, in the
And
past
so
we've tortured.
gonna politely explain to him that he now has a choice. He can die or he can help us live.
Oh my god!
What? We're going to
Uh,
death?
Overhearing this in the corner is a Warforged sorcerer who's just smiling to himself. Oh, my children are doing well.
This is incredible. He is able to like kick and like try to roll. He's still in Ashanti's grip, but he does manage to like kick away your attempts to like restrain him and tie him up. And several of the other like
Do I hear the noise?
customers in the well, of course,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll
Like,
come.
there's-
I'll come
Barry,
back in.
little
I'm
help.
like,
Little help.
okay. I
Why
didn't-
we-
I thought we were going to leave. Okay, sleep.
Oh god, he's starting to shout. He's like, "Don't just stand there, get him off me!" And yeah, there's a couple of other like unsavory types looking around the bar.
Wisdom save.
Oh wow, he succeeded. This is gonna be trickier than I thought to get him free.
It's
To
the
get him off.
bartender that we can't fight.
Well,
I
we don't
know,
want
it's
to.
crazy.
We don't want to
Wow,
kill
I don't
him.
want to kill him.
he's
I just want to
he's
restrain
clearly
him.
at this point. It's clear that this guy is no just mere bartender. He is indeed quite well traveled and hardy as well. And I think at this point he's gonna try and get free of your grapple. You can give me
I'm
another.
impressed more and more. I'm liking this.
What are we doing here?
I'm
Give me
simply
enough-
acquiring a navigator. You wanted a navigator. We found a navigator.
Guidance.
I'm just
Give,
picking
give,
him up and carrying
Guidance,
him with
guidance,
us.
guidance. Yep. Yep. Oh, one. Sorry.
No.
no.
Wait.
It's enough.
Well, Shanti's got 24.
Oh.
Oh my god. All right, hold on. Let me try and use leadership.
What
Whenever
the?
a non-hostile you can see within 30. I think he's just going to use leadership though, which he does have as an ability. I think
Russell.
this adds a D4. Yeah, Russell's leadership, indeed. He's a retired knight.
Holy crap!
So he adds a
Okay.
D4 to his roll.
But it's only a 1.
It's not enough. It's not enough. All right.
Sleep
He
again?
tries to use his
mine.
leadership to get people to get them off. He has got a multi-attack as well, so I'm also going to get another attempt to get free of this grapple. I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
Although, give me another check, Ashanti. Oh, never mind. It's not one. Ugh. Yeah, never mind. You beat him no matter what. Okay, you can try to sleep him again a second time. Yeah, sure.
Whoa, let's try and sleep him again.
A second time. All right.
Oh, he passes
Wow.
again. Okay, I think we just.
And also, by the way, he's got a feature called Brave, so don't even at him about the whole we were looking for someone brave. He has got a feature called Brave.
Hulla's
Oh
gonna
my
He just
cast
knows it's
Hold
stupid.
Person.
Oh
I'm gonna
god,
hold
wisdom
person.
save it is then.
Yep. Wisdom
Another
save.
wisdom save.
Oh, that's better.
Okay, I fail. All right, finally. It's 3 against 1 though. I mean, what can I do?
Yeah.
Also, as you're manhandling him, you actually see underneath his we'll say apron and commoner's clothes, he's actually got like plate on his chest. Like you can feel the metal and the hard outline of like a full set of plate underneath his outfit. Yeah, he's also wearing plate armor. It's
Yes.
insane.
You wanted
Yes.
to
I'm
go.
so sorry about this, but it could not be more
Yeah,
obvious that you are our guy.
Yes.
We'll try and make this easy on you. I
As
promise.
as they're like dragging him out of the thing, I'm just like trying to calm everyone else down, and I'm just like, listen, it's okay. This guy's gonna help us save the Dales from Aurel. Keep on
For the
drinking.
greater good, I swear. I swear, we'll bring him back.
I just
They got
Did I-
Russell.
did I just hear him say that around on everyone in the bar? That sounds
Yes,
correctly.
Here, he said, go behind the bar and help yourself.
And
Oh,
also, if you could find the part-timer who probably works in the back, see if you can, get them to come on out and
Feed some
help run the
food.
bar. While he's
Yeah.
gone, someone needs
chef
to
comes
babysit this
out.
place.
yeah, don't
Thank
worry
you.
about
Ralph
it.
Salafan. What is all this commotion?
It's
It is
not.
you,
not
the
the-
Icewind Trekkers.
Yeah, we're
Bye.
gonna save the Dales with Russell. Russell's helping us save the Dales.
Sacre bleu, what are you doing with Russell?
He's coming with us to help. Don't worry about it. He's gonna be a legend.
Yeah, he's gonna be the biggest legend.
Yes,
Don't you worry about it.
he's fighting his urge to stay here. He's so excited to go with us.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna put my arm around him. Hulla's got him hauled. So we're just dragging him out.
All right.
Say, you
Yeah,
take
he's
care
gonna-
of the bar. And you know what? I'm gonna throw 5 gold pieces at him and say, here's a little bit of money just to help you run things while he's gone. We'll be back hopefully just within a couple of days.
Yeah, don't worry about it. As we said, saving the Dales.
Before he can
Absolutely.
ask any more questions, the paralyzed Russell is dragged out of the bar, tied up. I'm guessing because that
Yes,
spell could
well-
wear off any time.
I'm gonna grab a cloak from whatever cloak is
It
on
does.
the hook by the
Jesus.
door, and I'm gonna throw the cloak over him and over his face, and
Okay.
slip my
Oh
arm
my god.
through his like I'm helping a drunk friend home from the bar. So hood's down over his face, cloak is over his tied hands,
Mm.
and if we run across any guards. I'm just gonna say, God, he is so drunk. I am so sorry. We're getting him off the streets.
Oh my god. He's probably trying to yell, but there's muffled underneath the bag. It's a good job there's not many people on the streets in Icewindale. People don't linger around in the cold. So you are able to basically tie him up in those. You only had a moment as well. I saw he just broke out of that paralysis instantly. But yeah, you'd be able to get the rope around him and tie him up. Yeah, you have kidnapped Russell. You're bringing him with you. The sound of kind of like muffled shouting can be heard just down the street, and I guess David, Vetter, you meet up with the others. They've got a kidnapped.
Hey guys, we got a to-go chum box. How did you do?
We got to go, Russell.
Are they tied up?
What?
A little bit.
Only until we get to a ship, and in which case they can't escape. But yes.
Yeah, once we set sail, then it
Well-
should be fine.
Well,
Did he agree to this?
Yes and no.
No, I didn't.
Yes and no.
I'm not sure I feel comfortable kidnapping someone for
Yeah.
this.
He's not a kid. He's a fully grown
Thompson.
adult who's going to who understands the dangers that we are facing and has the knowledge to help us overcome this.
Yeah.
Well,
Talk some sense into them.
we found out information that there is apparently a ship that can go under the water.
Yeah,
That we
it's an
can-
undermarine ship.
You found
Excellent.
a sub wave ship? That's awesome. I've heard of
Well,
those.
apparently, Anchor Duke, who is a whale, will know where they are.
Yeah, we have to go to Anchor Duke's bell, and then we ring the
Ascension?
bell, and then the whale will tell us where the ship is and how to get to the ship.
The whale.
then we
Is
can
You've been
Anchor Duke's
you've been talking to
bell
Mad
on the
Jesting, haven't you? Oh,
Yeah.
You've been talking to that insane fisherman and his tall tales.
I mean, he was very helpful. He told us lots of information,
Is-
and we didn't even have to kidnap him.
And he's
the bell on an island, or is it on?
No, it's it's on the dock apparently.
I'm gonna magical cunning and try and put him to sleep again with my last spell slot.
Oh my god! Right, sure.
What? So, just for my understanding, why are we kidnapping someone?
God damn it!
He's just too good at that.
He's strong.
Oh man.
I
This
don't
guy
know.
is a badass. He resisted all of our attacks. He fought us back. He's
The-
wise enough to
I-
not fall asleep, and
I
he
mean-
knows the waters. Couldn't be better.
Okay.
Ideal candidate, except that he doesn't want to come with
Paula,
us.
you served on a ship, right?
Mhm. Yep.
How likely would one of your captains that you've served under be to force someone onto the ship against their will?
Well,
I'm gonna
we
tell
were
you right now.
pirates, so that happened practically every week. That's how you in piracy. That's kind of how you gain a crew. Like you say, okay, you join a crew or we'll kill you, and it's very effective. So
Yeah,
and
Ashanti
the
kinda
people are
did
won
that.
over by the gold.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
let's let me
Ashanti
approach
did
this from
that.
a different angle. Barry, is this what a hero does?
Okay,
Um,
wait. He is a hero, and he knows he's a hero, and he knows the right thing to do.
And he
Is
doesn't
to
want to go.
I'm going to be honest.
Must
Has
sort of
the
thing,
knowledge
right?
we need.
This was not my option. I was walking away, and suddenly there was a
Barry
noise.
was almost outside. This was my
And-
decision. I
And now
take
we're here.
for it.
Okay.
Hulla sort of looks up to the sky and is like speaking to Barry's patron that she doesn't know, and is like, "This is true. It's not his fault. He was walking away, and he tried to convince us not to. It was us.
Okay.
Well, mostly Ashanti,
Alright.
but me too.
If
So
it-
Okay.
don't worry about it.
I-
He's still fine."
If it makes
Ashanti.
anyone feel better, my patron is into trickery, and we're tricking him to going.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
really?
So
No,
Question
you're
mark?
Seriously.
right. Ashanti, I know you like to collect pets, but you can't take humans as pets.
I'm not taking him as a pet. I'm taking him as an expert. He has expertise.
At this
when we
point,
know.
this is
Here's how it
basically
is, though.
slavery. At this point, he doesn't
We'll
want
pay
to
him.
go.
We'll pay
You
him.
are forcing him to go.
We'll pay him.
Out of the loot?
Hey,
We'll pay him.
there,
Wait,
Valin says there
seriously.
is one way to have him come along willingly.
No.
Uh,
no, we don't need to kill
Cheap.
anybody.
Closes the book on Animate Dead.
I thought
Anime men.
I thought we had sort of got around doing sketchy things in order to make our way forward, but
All right, let me.
I mean, we're
ask you
trying to
this,
reduce it, but we never said cut it
I-
out altogether.
No, I'm
I-
dead. I'm dead serious about this, guys, and I'm really serious. Do we need to end this winter? I just marched 1,000 people across the tundra, praying that I could get them all to somewhere they could have food. If we don't end this winter, if we don't stop this, what's going to happen to this place? What's going to happen to all people we have met who we didn't get to Coldhar? What's going to happen to the Renegade tribes and the herds and the animals that are going to starve and die?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to kidnap somebody, but this man has the expertise we need to sail those seas, and by God, we're going to sail those seas. Unless your underwater ship will get us there without this guy,
I mean,
these people are going to die. And I mean, all joking aside, all fun aside, he knows the right thing to do. And I am not going to stand around and let somebody go, well, I'm just not going to do it because, I feel like I want to be safe and hide my little hole. Nobody
Right.
can hide their holes anymore. Nobody
Ashanti.
has the right to hide in their holes anymore.
Ashanti, how about this? Because we're clearly doing the wrong thing.
Very clearly.
Russell, how about this? If you come with us to Anchor Duke, when we get there, we'll give you the choice. But at least come with us. See what we're up against. See what we come across. You'll have never seen an underwater vessel. Surely that intrigues you.
It's a sub-water
It's
vessel.
a made-up story.
Well,
That jesting is just... Well, he's jesting. That's exactly it. It's just a jest.
you know
He's
how?
gone insane.
Do you know
The
how
seas
many?
have addled his mind. Not enough oranges. He's probably had scurvy all his life.
Do you
There's
know how?
barnacles growing on the inside of his skull.
Do you know how many made-up stories we've heard that have come to be true?
Hey, we met a moose that could talk.
Yeah, we met wolves that could talk. We met a mammoth that could talk.
Right.
We came
Fine.
across an ancient white dragon,
That could talk.
the white reaper, which turned out to be a
Talk.
giant crab.
Frost giant
Give me a
ghosts,
persuasion.
giant
Give me a
crab.
persuasion check though, with disadvantage because he's still hostile.
Yeah.
I-
This is
but-
this is not how I expected this to go.
no.
But it. One sec.
Guidance,
One sec.
Sorry, everything.
3.
So 17.
My pact. Click it. God
You
damn
can
it.
do that as well. There's another 2. So 19.
Is
It's a
it?
success. Yeah, no, it's the 19 is a success.
Oh
You
my
see,
god.
He rolls his eyes. He lets out this huge sigh. Well, actually, he's still got the bag over his head. You just see the bag kind of breathe in, and
We
then
put a bag on his head.
push out. Yeah, you did.
No.
When?
Well, yeah, we covered, and then we covered it with a hood so nobody would notice.
Okay, it's
So,
just a
yeah.
hood.
You see, he hangs his head. His shoulders like shrug down.
Trying to save the Dales. We really are.
I'll come with you to the pier.
Okay.
But the answer's gonna be no when we get there. I don't want to get your hopes up, but as soon as we get there, I'm
Maybe-
gonna say no and turn around.
Well, at the very least, maybe you can teach us some things along the way, because we're going to have to go one way or another.
Yeah, I'll
Listen,
teach you not to
you-
listen to tall tales
You
and
and I will
how to
sit
not
down.
kidnap people.
You and I will sit down. You can teach me everything I need to know as best you can.
But
She's a
The more
sailor.
you-
So
the more you-
she's already got the stuff.
I know from ships. I just don't know this area. The more you can tell me, the less we need you. Right?
See, compromise. Well, I'll be good. You can go back
You
to
take
whatever
these-
it is.
You can take these ropes off me. I
Yeah,
will not be taken as a prisoner.
I'll undo the ropes. Please
Or like,
please help us.
Someone go fetch my damn crossbow. And he storms off towards the gate of Targos. And yeah, you can go back to the counter. It's still there.
I'll go get the crossbow.
What the hell just happened?
Okay, in fairness,
Navigator,
I was
I
gonna
got
sit with him. I was gonna go back and I was gonna sit with him and get him to, like, you know, draw me a map of stuff. I didn't expect to be drawn into the kidnapping, but once, you know, once it was kind of in progress, it's a good
That's
solution,
mental.
really.
Well, it's a good solution once it's in progress.
Absolutely mental. I've never seen that shit.
The
That was great.
Warforged in the corner smiles a little bit more.
Oh my
Like,
god.
it's just like not where I expected our party to go in any way, shape, or
No.
form.
If it makes
No,
everyone
no
feel
way.
better, in the months that have gone by, we did kidnap people and torture them. Now we've just gone back a step to kidnapping, so we're in the right direction.
We're gonna try our best not to torture anybody, but, like, you know.
So next we just need to not kidnap, and then we'll be where we need to be.
Right, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Yes. Cool.
It's a tool. We needed the tool. I acquired the tool. I don't know
But
what the problem is.
Oh my
But I
god, this
thought-
Ashanti.
But I thought we knew the direction that we were going anyway, so we just needed a
do.
boat.
No, we needed a boat, and apparently we needed someone who's able to navigate icy waters.
You really do.
Well, it needs
Yeah,
the
yeah.
information. There's plenty of time to acquire it. Give them a
There
choice.
was a little.
When we get to Anchor's Bell.
Okay. Alright, well. It's a dense fog on the way to Anchor Duke's Bell, making navigation a little bit trickier. Unless someone did have a compass, but it does
Do we not have a
appear as
compass?
though
That seems
I
crazy.
don't know.
No.
idea
We'll
if you
pick
do or
one.
not.
The port will have one.
I mean, mostly I think we've just
Maybe you
been
can
relying
just-
on survival checks to get our way through.
Maybe you guys can just
True.
kidnap a compass.
That would be theft, and that would be wrong.
Ah, yes. We can take.
So the line is a compass. Stealing a compass. is-
So we
Wow.
can't
Inanimate
take
objects
property, but we
Yeah.
can take people.
People aren't property. You know this. That would be wrong.
That's right.
You know, Russell, I'm really sorry about this. I don't agree with their methods, but at this point, I don't think I can argue with them.
Russell,
Don't
I do
tried.
have
bother.
I do have a very important, very important question for you.
Yeah.
This is a serious question though now. Is 3 gold a good price for a bucket of chum?
In
'Cause
this
that's what
economy, yeah.
Okay, good. So okay, just want to make sure I wasn't being like scammed out of stuff. I only got the little one, but he was saying
Man,
3
the
gold, and I
inflation
was like,
in this town is crazy. 3 gold for chum? Are you insane?
yeah. Where I mean, we can get you can get like probably 3 Russells for 1 compass apparently.
God damn it!
Oh, Lord.
Right, Russell, you
Why
don't
we need
happen to
new
have a
leadership. The
compass, do you?
economy is- Yeah.
I'm
Do I
just gonna
have a
ask.
compass?
He's just asking
Kinda
to get his
got-
crossbow. I just got his crossbow, and his backpack from behind the tavern's bar. I didn't see a compass.
Once the fog clears up, we'll know which way we're going.
Okay.
Kelvin's cairn is our compass.
I have a compass,
Oh, good.
Do you?
Okay.
I
But
think.
it's another
ship will
weird
have
magic
multiple
compass.
compasses, too.
It's weird.
That's like standard equipment.
It's weird though. It has like 3 different arrows on it. Yeah, I don't get it either.
Is Valen with us?
Velen is, yeah. She has her kobolds, but by the time you kind of depart from Bremen, the fog has cleared up. Russell points out Kelvin's cairn in the distance, and then kind of angles you in the correct course. And he
Okay.
says,
Yeah.
"We're on the
It-
right track. This is the way the whalers would have gone as well."
This is like the only time when you would need to know that feat that lets you always know which way north is.
Sure.
In
In
most
mind.
cases, it's an absolutely useless feat, but still.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. Some hours later, and this is like good 15 miles ish to get from Bremen. Actually, from Targos to there, it's like 16 miles. Yeah. In the snow, for the most part, it's actually light snow, and you're on axe beaks and sleds, so you get it there in half the time. But for most of the day, you are just traveling and talking to Russell. If you do pry some information from him, he can tell you a little bit about the Sea of Moving Ice. And he briefly mentioned something about frost or storm giant ruins earlier. And yeah, he will say that shipwrecks on the island of Solstice are one thing, but there's plenty more at the bottom of the ocean. Storm giants used to lay kingdom to this place. Some say there are still abandoned castles down there beneath the ice, and that their towers are tall enough to serve as hazards for boats. Like obviously there's coral reefs, but what's worse is sailing headfirst into a watchtower or a battlement that's just beneath the water.
Is there something that indicates that they're there? I mean,
Mm, yeah,
walking across
there
the
is.
grasslands, sometimes you can see the way, the stalks are bending to know that there's something when the wind is blowing, that there's something in there.
They used to have roads they would call giant causeways, and they were fashioned like hexagonal. What were they called? Like roads, just massive slabs of stone. Though obviously you'd have to go underneath the water to see these, but the only other indication of one of them being nearby, uh, well, divers would usually go off the side of the boat and give a quick look around. Most sailors would just know to avoid certain areas, just sail around them to not end up like their predecessors. So it's a bit of a trial and error kind of situation for the most part. Of course, there are other things you can run into. There's entire ecosystems down there. Sea folk, like merfolk and worse,
So, do y'all
Meros.
go fast and trust your luck, or do you go slow to make sure that you're avoiding the hazards? I've I don't know enough about traveling on the sea to know which is best.
Better column A, better column B. If you're navigating and just going about your business, go slow. If you're being chased by shark riding merfolk or Meros, then you go fast to outrun them because they're going to start poking holes in your ship.
Hmm.
Then there's the rough waters, and I don't mean just the natural waters. There are sentient waters out there. If you see a swirl of bubbles, avoid it. It's usually some sort of elemental creature. They're almost invisible when they're underwater,
I
but
mean,
the bubbles are a bit of a giveaway.
you mean like the swirling winds in the Dalelands? And they have the storms come through, and suddenly are they like that?
Hmm. Kind
The
of.
Dalelanders call them tornadoes. And it's
Yeah.
a storm will come through, and then suddenly it, it's like the way I saw one at a distance once. It was like the storm on its side, rolling and twisting through the landscape, and it was blowing air everywhere.
Hmm. Kind of like that. Yeah. But underwater, it'll pick up, you know, bits of sand and seaweed. So it's easier to see if the more junk that it's spinning around. Speaking of seaweed, if you see a big floating mound of the stuff,
Avoid
probably
it.
best to poke it. Or yeah, avoid it. But if you're the type who likes a bit of seaweed, or kelp, you can dry the stuff, eat it. But I would poke it with a stick from afar first. Lots of creatures live in seaweed,
Oh,
and sometimes the seaweed itself is a creature.
Oh,
what do y'all do?
Yeah.
Y'all throw javelins at them?
Yep. Couple of spears, fishing spears will do the trick.
Oh, okay.
If it starts moving, then you say "fuck that noise" and move along. They've devoured sailors before. Ones who jump overboard, try to harvest it, and then they're suddenly caught up in a mass of vines and dragged under the water. Yeah, don't trust anything in the ocean. Basically, is how I would frame my advice.
This is why we need you.
Nothing's
you're
nothing's
very
quite
smart.
as
You're very good at this. Yes, you'd be an asset to the team.
you can kiss my ass. How about that?
Only if you let me.
What? Uh, at that, I think we'll arrive at handkerchief spell. Let's preload this. There we go. Alright. So when you guys start to arrive, in the distance you see a frozen pier. There appears to be a small cabin, domed and facing the bay.
Is it
There's a
supposed to be our
bloated.
screen supposed to be black?
I'll drag your tokens on in just a moment, but
Okay.
just giving you the lowdown first. In fact, actually, yeah, it's best I just grab the cabin first. You see the bloated door is covered in ice, and dormant barnacles hang slightly ajar on rusted hinges. In the distance past this stone cabin, you see a frozen pier. A rowboat is stuck in the ice and trapped against a 10-foot long wooden pier is this kind of icy glazed slippery plank work. But let me see, have I got art for this? I could have sworn I did. Let's see. No. Alright, I'll drag some into the chat in a second. But yeah, the cabin is what you see immediately before you. There is also the telltale sign of tracks, but they didn't go towards the cabin. Looks like they've gone past that and towards the slippery pier. And I think also way off in the distance you can see just a little bit of torchlight past the light obscurement of snow. And there are perhaps distant voices on the wind as well.
Voices on the wind, like human
Yeah.
voices.
Yeah, people talking. One of them's like barking orders, like yelling, like, bring another one over here. Come on. Don't just tip it. Oh, you're getting it everywhere. Stuff like that. Let me see.
These the whalers with the oil?
Possibly. Anyone want to investigate the cabin first, or ignore it?
I'll investigate the cabin.
Yeah.
I said last
Okay.
time, I'm going to take a step back and allow y'all to determine our way forward here. Seriously, Ashanti will make sure that the Axebeaks are taken care of and that they are, and I'll stay out with the Axebeaks and bits while they investigate the cabin.
There is
I
actually
just
a
want to stay
couple
on
of
guard.
there's a couple of like what I would say like posts where people would actually tie up an axe beak or two, or dog sleds, and it's just outside the cabin. The cabin is completely frozen. To get that thing open, like there's so much thick rime, it like coats the whole door. To get that thing open would take a while by the looks. We can try and break
Are there
it.
any like windows or anything that can be looked through?
Yeah.
Doesn't appear to be. Stone cabin is completely encased.
Is there a chimney?
There is a small hearth.
Probably
Yeah.
not enough to be able to get much information on.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have androids fly down the chimney and take a look around.
I mean, they can't speak, but they could give us. They might be able to indicate. Just give us a
Just a no
basic
answer.
yes or no if anyone's in there. Yeah, so we'll send Android down the chimney, basically, to essentially fly in, have a quick look about, then come out and ask some basic yes and no questions.
Yeah, okie dokie. Alright, so you send them down the chimney, that works. Effectively, this is like the interior of the cabin. Don't really see much. There's no one in here. Android comes back and doesn't really give you much indication that anyone was in there. Jamie, you want to ask something?
No, this is very typical of me, but how long did it take to get here, and will it have been long enough to have a short rest?
Yes, it would have, but not
Okay.
really resting if you're traveling, but you could have taken one before you left.
Okay. Sorry,
Okay.
wallop questions.
Yeah, no sweat.
What time of day is it? Because, I mean, if we probably need to talk to the whalers, we need to make a decision as to whether or not we're going to try to set up a camp and spend the night, or
Probably
if we are going to.
midday-ish.
Okay, all right. So we still have hours of
Yeah.
twilight. Okay.
But yeah, Andy Roy doesn't seem to note too much in there. Like, they don't seem to give you like any indication or try to translate something important in there. They just sort of peck around at the floor a little bit and then shrug.
The cabin seems clear. It could be maybe useful to if we get desperate and need somewhere more solid, but for now I think it's probably not worth it.
Okay. So, yeah, turning the volume down, because this map is one that is built into Foundry. Top right is the button. It looks like a play button's playlists, and to turn down
Ambient was the one that seemed to affect.
Yeah, it was in the chat.
That'll be the one.
Because it was like drowning me out. I could barely hear you.
True. Okay. If you walk past the cabin, off in the distance, you see this arched formation of rocks, and there's a little pier on that side of it, just past the frozen lake, or well, frozen ocean, I should say. And there seems to be a bell hanging by a chain.
Yes, we.
Oh,
The
that's the
bell.
bell we got
It's-
to ring for. Yeah, for the whale.
And around it are a great deal of 10-towners. And now I drag you on. Here you go.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Their torchlight illuminates them, and one of the torches is
Logan.
being held by none other than Logan Ninefingers, a recognizable figure who seems to be actually leaning up against said bell. And he's sort of saying, "Yeah, say when." And you see the man next to him, he's got like this mountain of a guy. He's got this big tower shield. Well, it's a round shield on his back. And he says, "Wait for the order." And Gendron, this guy over here, "Wait for Gendron's order," he says. And another big, burly man says, "One more barrel ought to do it." And you see what they're doing. These two individuals here, either side of this small opening in the frozen lake, is a oil slick. And you see one man pouring a whole barrel of oil over and into this fishing hole, you could say, and it's just filling the waters with this black oily slick.
Okay.
Hey, that's bad for the environment.
From
That's what they said.
From
We want to get
this,
over them.
I suppose
That's the whalers I was talking about.
that hole.
Whalers, yeah, we know that guy.
Do you know any rumors of that? Is that where this anchor-tube whale supposedly comes from?
Supposedly, yeah.
And
Gendron's the one in charge. Gendron Urith. He's there. One holding the torch.
We should probably stop them then if we need this whale.
We should
Yeah,
probably
but-
acquire them to part of our team, the same way you did with Russell.
But
No,
well,
you can't trust those
Logan's not
guys.
to be trusted.
He'll knife you in your sleep.
That's true.
Um,
We'll just do it while they're awake, which is
Yeah.
more honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Logan is sort of near the bell, looking like he's ready to ring it.
Yes.
Right.
That's right.
Vettor is basically going to be taking aim at his hand. You guys can get ready to run in and try to stop them if you want, but I'm going to just try to stop him ringing the bell.
You want
Until
over there, Ashanti?
Is there any
Oh,
sign
tell me what
that,
to do and who to kill.
is
Oh
there
my
any
God.
sign of a ship that they have any kind of transport from where they are? 'Cause I don't see anything on the map.
There is this rowboat that does have some rope in it and a set of oars. Other than that, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say they have any big transportation. No, they don't have a ship.
Okay.
It looks like they walked here
I could wand of
from
web
either.
the bell.
They walked here from Targos or Tourmaline.
might not
according
be
to
necessarily a bad
Russell.
shout. But let's
Okay, so you want to take aim at his hand? you
basically to stop
see-
him ringing the bell.
Yeah, they're in the process of tipping this last barrel, and you see Gendron kind of lifting up his hand, kind of trying to signal towards Logan.
Yep.
And
So
yeah,
I'm
you-
basically going to be
you guys
steady
can
aiming.
move. Okay, yeah. You guys can move towards them if you want.
Where's
And
the bell? The bell's over here.
this is the bell, yeah.
That's the bell. Okay.
Right here.
Okay. Okay.
I pull Ashanti with me to the edge of the water.
I'm gonna stay close
You know,
to
I'm gonna
Russell.
tell Bits to stay with the axe speaks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I'll say the yak speaks are back by the cabin. So
Oh.
it's a little back away from here, but
I feel sorry for the
Yeah.
guy named Forley the Weakest.
Um,
I can
oh yeah,
see him now.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
he's the one
he wants to join us.
struggling. He looks like he's got like a stain of black oil over his shins from where he like obviously struggled with these big barrels. Okay,
Heal.
looks like anyone else moving? Shanti, are you moving towards them or?
I'm getting ready to thunderstep us over.
I'm getting ready
Okay,
to
got it.
wand of web the bell.
Got it.
Because
Ooh.
if the
Alright.
bell is webbed, then it can't ring, probably, right? So,
Right. Yeah.
and like
After you see the
immediately,
barrel.
it's gonna be like immediately after Vetter fires. If she misses, I'm webbing the bell.
Okay. So then, in that case, you see after they've kind of emptied out the barrel, they tilt it back. Gendron's hand lowers and drops, and Logan kind of gives a nod and reaches up to the bell. You can
And that
roll your
is
attack roll with
Thunderstep.
advantage, and you're hitting
uh,
Logan's hand, correct?
yep,
Yeah.
25
Okay.
ought to do it.
So that'll make him Logan 8 fingers now,
Yep.
as that definitely
And
takes off one of his fingers. And
yeah, and Vale is going all out for this, and I'm also going to try to trip him over.
oh my god, I think he does fail that too. So he falls down in absolute agony from that. Let me just check something. Yep. He goes to try and draw like knives as he falls to the slippery planks as well with a heavy thud. Everyone suddenly turns around and looks in your direction, and they
Thunderstep?
too draw weapons, long swords, battle axes, warhammers come to arms, and you see Gendron looking in your direction as Logan's like yelling on the floor, and he says, "What are you doing? We're whalers. Why are you attacking us?"
Oh, there he is.
We need that
Oh.
whale. And also, we don't really care for Logan.
Yeah, Logan stabbed us in the back, so I've shot off his finger and somehow tripped him over.
He looks around at the others who are also kind of holding and wielding weapons, and he says, "Well, he's working for me and my men. Appreciate it if he had all 9 fingers left so he could do his job."
Again, we need that whale. It's very important for Icewindale that we need that whale alive.
So do we. We
Wait.
need that whale.
Aren't you trying to kill it?
Well, we are whalers after all. So yes,
Ye-
of course.
Yeah,
Well, we
and
just
that's
said we
why we
needed it
can't let
alive.
you.
No, its blubber is worth too much. With it, we can protect ourselves from the cold.
And if you
Is
let
it-
us do
It's
our
oil.
jobs, then you won't need blubber.
Mhm.
He kind of shakes his head and says, "We didn't just trek miles out into the tundra to come back empty-handed.
Neither did we.
Look, how about this? We'll give you a cut."
No, we need the whale alive.
Alive. Yep.
Gold,
Not
gold
about
is
money.
gold and blubber are worthless now.
The oil,
What
though,
what
the oil goes
matters?
for a lot of coin.
Yeah,
And
so
what
they get you
use?
to
What use is coin?
Yes. You're
Coin
talking
can
about a
buy
limited
you.
number, a limited quantity of oil, a limited quantity of gold. We're talking about getting rid of the need for it entirely.
Yeah, the whale gets us an underwater ship to a solstice. Apparently.
Makes
Mhm.
sense. You should do what we say. Or we'll take
Or
the other.
else.
Well, I mean, it'll be Johnny. What's his name?
Or
No
else,
fingers?
Logan, no fingers.
Yeah.
and
Give me.
and you might
Uh-huh.
end up being Gendron no member.
True.
What?
All right, so you heard him. Give me an intimidation check. I'm gonna say, David, you can roll this since, yeah, you're definitely one making the threat.
Oh,
Ooh.
jeez. Wait, I can make that better.
Gonna need
I can
to.
make that better. I can add a d6 to it.
Okay, I'm gonna add a
Um,
guidance to it as well.
You need to be within 10 feet of him, though.
Yeah, you're not within 10 feet.
Oh, damn it.
I don't think that would help. I will say, even with the guidance, I don't think that's gonna make it.
David, do you
The
have
DC.
inspiration, or does anyone have
I
DM
do actually have
inspiration?
I do actually have DM inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah, let's...
You see,
Or-
Logan is getting up to his feet. You saw he's drawing throwing daggers, and they kind of flash in the torchlight, which is like on the deck of that pier. But go ahead if you wish to re-roll it, because you see the others are
Yeah,
looking to.
I'll re-roll the intimidation.
Can I
Yeah,
help with this?
Keep Bamfus over there. I'll drop that stinking cloud
Holy
thing on them.
Yeah.
So that's
If Bamfus
15.
out there,
So it becomes a 15 now. Yeah.
Yeah, can I help with this
What
by thunderstepping us right next to them? What's more intimidating than Ashanti looming over them?
right, okay.
the
You
tin of
can.
stinking cloud.
And it won't do damage
You-
to them because it only does damage in the
Okay.
area I am.
You can cast your thunderstep.
Okay. I, we just showed Russell that we can be better than what we just did.
Yeah, but I like Russell better than these guys.
Position your
And obviously-
barbarian wherever you'd like to be. Bang,
pretty much,
there.
pretty much like there, because she's got a 10-foot glaive.
Sounds good. Okay. This is the guy you're mostly intimidated. Yeah, that works.
What the? No.
Well,
Yeah,
of
but
course, there.
yeah,
And
but then the
Ashanti.
intimidation is to
as-
stop them ringing the bell as well.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. As you appear, Ashanti, is there anything you do to make your presence known? You just
Yes.
appear right behind this guy.
Now, I actually have a question. If we're standing next to the bell, what does the bell look like? Do you have a picture of that?
It's like this big metal kind of drum. There's
Is it hanging from a rope?
maybe it's hanging from a chain by the looks. But I'll find you an image real quick.
I was thinking if I cut the rope, it would fall. They can't ring it. We can deal with them and then just rehang it when
Yeah, this
we
thing.
need to actually ring it.
There you
Yeah,
go.
but if you
That's the
drop
image
it,
of
that might make it ring.
That's too high. I was thinking of
Okay.
the Liberty Bell. I mean, the Liberty Bell's only a few feet up.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's like a big metal drum with a chain on the top of like a. Yeah.
So
that's
all
what
right,
it looks like.
if
Then.
I'm appearing right behind him, then I'm just going to hook the pointy end of the glaive right up against his throat and say, "Hello, my name is Ashanti. I am not feeling like a good girl today."
Roll me an intimidation check as well, and we'll see what you get. You can use if you want to rage and use strength, you can do.
Okay, then yes, I will absolutely rage.
Which will also give you advantage.
Yep. Yeah.
Whoa, 19 is definitely enough to what I
And
would
that's with
say
charisma,
aid
not with
in that-
not even with the
Wow,
strength.
yeah, what the hell? It is. And I'll allow David to re-roll his now at advantage, since this is definitely a successful help. So you could just re-roll. Just re-roll
Just,
the
reroll, just straight reroll now.
flat.
Okay.
Yeah, just straight.
Ugh.
Holy well.
Really?
It's I have a
Okay.
+6 to this. I should be good at
Wait,
it.
I have an
Doesn't-
inspiration. I'm willing to let David have my inspiration to re-roll that.
This session wants us to kill people.
It
I'll
really
allow
does.
it. Ashanti,
Yeah.
you can
take
use your
my
inspiration.
Okay, and David, do you want to re-roll that? I've clicked off. I've taken away my inspiration.
I can reroll it
Everyone's.
again. It's gonna be.
Yep.
It's gonna be
I mean,
another below
uh,
10 roll coming up. Another below 10 roll. 11.
no,
Fantastic.
That's an 18.
that's actually that's on the money, pretty much of
It's an
what
18.
you need. Okay, we got there in the end. Took 2 inspirations, thunderstep, rage, but yeah, I think they were absolutely ready to throw down, and all of them have their bows and crossbows drawn, aimed, ready, and then suddenly Logan feels the blade right up against their neck, and they drop the 2 daggers with a clatter to the boards. And Gendron says, "Ugh. For God's sake, you're not here to fight. Lower your weapons." And the rest of
Aw.
them sort of do.
I haven't killed anybody in hours. It's so much fun.
I'm just gonna whisper as a side to Russell and be like, she doesn't really mean that. She just says that when she wants to be intimidating. I promise you, we're not that bad.
No,
But this is fun,
Ashanti
though.
really is getting fed up. It literally
We do
taking
hate
1,000
Logan. We would actually kill him just for the sake of it,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
only
taking
'cause
1,000 people
justified.
and the children across that cultivar and knowing that that was not a permanent solution, that people are losing their homes, they're losing their lives, and that this has stopped being a fun adventure for Dante. And now her inner orc is coming out, and what you're seeing is
orc.
her deciding that people are going to live, that enough is enough.
Oh, I
We
just meant the
have,
bit about you liking to kill people every few hours. That's
oh
sort
yeah,
of
no, I don't know people unless
Okay.
I have to. But yeah,
it's not
no,
like an addiction.
no. Ashanti's just gotten to the point where the trek across the tundra with all the people made it very real for her.
It's because she's so
And looking
warm-hearted.
at the people's faces, watching them struggle in those conditions, knowing that those people were going to die if we couldn't get them to safety, and they were going to die slowly and painfully, just went, okay, that's it. I've had kind of a, what do they call them, a sea change, where I've stopped treating this like a grand adventure. This has started becoming it's time for us to end this. And I'm tired of people standing in our way and standing, you know,
Okay.
in trying to stop us with silly quests and stupid petty disputes. And it's time to end this. And if it means that I have to let go of some of my innocence, then I let go of it.
Yeah. So what 607 was really trying to hammer
Mhm.
into you this whole time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's finally showing.
Uh-huh.
Gendron says, "Our fight is against Anchor Duke, not a well-armed party of, well,
Trekkers.
maniacs."
Do-gooders.
Oh,
Good
I was
people.
gonna say. I was gonna say a different word, but sure. And you
Go
hear
ahead,
in
say
the
it.
corner Russell sort of shouting, "Yeah, trust me, you don't want to cross them." I think the cold's numbed most of their heads. You see Gendron saying, "But look, you are missing out on the cut of a lifetime. Ambergris is worth, well, a pretty penny. But
You're
suit
failing
yourself."
to see the big picture here. I mean,
Yeah, look-
when the cold is done and the monsters are gone, the whales will return. That's the whole point of all this. Do you
Yeah,
not
look-
see?
And you'll be able to hunt them in a more noble manner than setting fire to the top of the water and summoning one.
Yeah, and listen, give us like a week. Come back, do what you want.
Oh,
But we need to
No,
get to Solstice.
we wasn't setting this place on fire. The oil contaminates the water. Give it a few hours, and knucklehead trout, as well as anything else down there, start floating to the top, belly up.
Holly, can
Seems
you
like
stop
cheating.
that? Is there anything you can do to stop that?
You to hatch all the
Is there a
oil?
spell or something you can do to neutralize that poison?
I mean, I could try to burn it off before we ring the bell.
He's going to recall his men, and they do begin to withdraw, and says, and in fact, you can make me a perception check, Barry and Ashanti, because you're right next to them, and they're trying to keep their voices low. But give me perception. You've got advantage as well, I think, Ashanti. So, but that's a success nonetheless. You hear them sort of say under their breath, doesn't matter. Once the veil comes to the aid of the other fish, they'll probably die anyway. We'll come collect our prize later. And they seem to withdraw, a lot of them.
Okay, they can withdraw. I'll let them go, but I'm gonna push the glaive just a little bit more. My halberd just a little bit more against his throat. Not enough to hurt him, but just enough that he can definitely feel the weapon and say, "How do we stop it? You tell my friends how to stop this."
I ain't telling you nothing. I can bring that blade away from my neck,
Oh, I'm gonna
so I
bring
can
that.
see to my injuries. And
I
you
am
see,
gonna blink the blade through your neck if you don't tell us how to stop this. We need that whale. We need the information the whale has, and we need it alive. And I don't need you alive. And I am tired. I am bone tired.
give me another intimidation check with advantage, Ashanti.
Remember, Ashanti.
Using strength.
Remember, Ashanti, this one left us to fight off the Dwargo, and you got critted by one. And that Dwargo got a name for it.
Yeah.
17, 16 even. If Barry is able to add anything to that to help,
I just did.
Oh.
To really drive in why he should be worried about how far Ashanti will go.
Oh, I know that much. She's already got advantage though. I meant like in terms of a bonus to the roll.
I could shoot him with
one more.
I could shoot him with a Eldritch Blast. Just knock him out.
Try and use your pack to boost someone else.
Good question.
I
You
could
can use it on your stuff.
I could put the amulet. Well, I could touch Ashanti with the amulet and give her a pack. Says they have, because it says they need to be quotation marks wearing it.
Sure. Sure.
I put it on her shoulder.
Yeah, there you go. Give me a
I'm
D4 on that. That's there you go. All right. He says, I'm not like an environmental expert or anything like that, but I think it's pretty obvious. Unless you got someone to magically clean the water, then you're gonna need to burn it off. Takes a few hours though.
I mean,
Harry, can I tie this one up to keep him here until it's clean, and then we'll let him go? I know you're against tying people up, and I understand. That was a step too far.
Oh no, Russell was a decent guy. This guy we know is bad.
The others are looking around and waiting.
Yeah, we should
and
probably
you hear
anger them
Gendron
all.
calling out.
Yeah, we should let this one go, or we're gonna have to have a fight, and we don't need a fight. There's more important things.
Yeah, we just don't like this one.
Go. We've done as you asked. Now let him go.
Wait. The whale may want to know who's responsible for poisoning the water. If he is here, we can let the whale decide the appropriate justice that needs to be taken in this particular case. He poisoned
This isn't
the
a
water.
crime. This is survival. Our means to
Okay,
live in this land.
This
Okay.
time, Ashanti, let this one go. We need to.
I will.
David, do you have
Yep.
a spell that can do this? Like, do you have that prestidigitation?
I can try. I mean, do I have that? I have that spell for sure, yeah. But I could also, yeah, I could just do
Well,
that.
why don't we just light a torch and throw it on the water?
Well, because that'll take a few hours. If there's a quicker way to do it,
Okay.
then
I mean, I don't know if prestidigitation will do that exactly.
Good question. Good question. So you can clean or soil an object no larger than 1 cubic foot. At higher levels, you can have more instantaneous effects. You could also dry any willing creature within range, like instantly. So that's pretty fun. But you can't really use it to unsoil the water because it's not really an object. I wouldn't say. And it's mostly together. It's like dilute, like it's not diluted, but it's like one and the same with the oil.
I think
It
we've
would
got to
probably need to be
burn it.
something more like purify water would be the best spell.
I mean, technically I have that, but it would be up to you if I can use it if I haven't specifically prepared it for today. I just haven't used any spells
No.
beside Hold Person, so
You
I have to wait until the
have
morning.
not
but
prepared it.
Yeah.
The chance to prepare that would have been in Targos, but I think that
I never
window's
use it. So I've never
gone now.
prepared.
Yeah,
I have.
that would be
I
the
have-
best spell for it.
I have Speak with Dead.
in which
Well,
case,
as you say, speak with dead, there is a knucklehead trout that suddenly bobs to the surface of the
Speak to the
water,
knucklehead trout.
and
Hey, buddy.
they are belly up. They're
I
clearly
mean,
dead from poisoning.
yeah.
Burn it. We burn it
Yeah.
and we hold out until it dies down.
Should I cast
Yeah.
Speak with Dead on the Knucklehead Trout?
that
No.
seems a bit of a waste. Geist is just gonna light a torch and set the oil on fire.
At least we'll be warm for a while.
Yeah, and I would say we could eat the knucklehead trout, but if it's been poisoned, I don't know
Yeah.
that it won't
Not even
poison
edible.
us.
I have
What
resistance
makes-
to poison.
Yeah. Chris, is it letting out as big a smoke plume as what's showing on the map as this is burning away?
Oh yeah, this is a massive plume of smoke that begins rising
Right.
up
We
around
should
the
hide.
arc.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
that's my thought exactly. Try to hide nearby, or if we want to, head back to that cabin and smash it open.
David,
Oh, I can.
I
Yeah,
agree with
Wand
that.
of Wonders. Yeah.
can you do your hidey hut thing?
Yes, I can.
We could hide out in your hut.
Yeah.
Good day.
Well, for
Okay.
What's those things on the map? Oh, dead knuckleheads. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the belly up knucklehead. Okay, then
Yeah,
you head
um,
back to the
has it
cabin.
been
Yeah.
10 minutes, because if I'm still raging, I can try to break down the door, or I can rage again and try to break down the
It'll-
door.
It'll probably take 10 minutes to break down the door. So,
Okay, then I can burn a second rage and try to break down the door if y'all would like.
Am I doing
Break
the hut?
open.
or we could just do the
You can do the
hut,
hut,
then we
that's
don't
fine.
need the cabin.
in
I
the
could do
time
th-
it
I
takes you to make the tiny hut, you would have also smashed open the cabin. So you can do both just in case the cabin is not worthy of shelter. But
Yeah.
you can do both.
We need somewhere to keep the
Um,
axe speaks as well. I mean, especially if we're going to have to leave them behind. But we keep
And
them on
Sheila.
Yeah, I mean, so
Axe speaks in the cabin, us in the tiny hut.
That's
Okay.
that could be
Speaks-
Russell's use if he doesn't come with us. He could take the axe speaks back to
Yeah.
town for us.
I was about to
I mean-
say, yeah.
But Russell is
That
going to
is
come
one
with us,
option.
so that's, you know.
Is it?
Villain, I almost forgot Villain is also with you, as well
I
as
think
Kobold.
I think he's
Wait.
warming up to us.
I forgot you were here, Velen. Apologies. You didn't have a way to clean
That's
that up,
alright.
did you?
I'm just having a look through my wee spell book. I can make it laugh. I can make it sick. No, I'm afraid not.
Do you have Speak with Dead?
What kind of necromancer would I be if I didn't?
Okay, good. That's 2 of us.
But I do not have a way to clean that water, I'm afraid.
Oh, that actually reminds me. I have a way to speak with the dead too, sort of. That I meant to do before we left, and as we're waiting, this could be a good time.
You can. I'm just gonna quickly point out what's in the cabin. It's not much, but once you've broken through, finally, after chipping and chopping away at the ice, you see inside thick rime coats every surface and object inside the cabin, including a bed draped in a thick knit blanket. Besides the bed, a small hearth holds a precious store of firewood. Unfortunately, as you have a look over it, the firewood is infested with worms that have eaten away at the tender parts of the wood, but it's still safe to burn. There's probably enough wood in here to fuel like a nightly fire for 3 days, and it's stored in like 6 bundles that weigh 30 pounds each.
So if we light the fire in the fireplace, can we warm it up enough to melt the rime and make a cozy place for the axe beaks, at least overnight?
Yeah,
So they're out
the
of
axe beaks won't fit in here, but you can make a bonfire outside. Yeah, but they just will not fit in this tiny cabin. This was only built for one. There's only a single bed, and it's not a whole stables.
Oh, so it's like one of those
Like a
ice
single room
fishing
cabin.
huts?
Yeah,
Up in,
exactly. Think like an
okay.
igloo, but made of stone.
Okay.
All right.
Is there any chests or any desks or anything?
Make an investigation check.
Ooh, I'm not good at those. Okay. I think I'm gonna ask David and Vettrgeist and Barry and Hulla if they want to come in and take a look. But I'll try.
Lynn will have a look as well. Try to help out. Yeah.
Do I roll this normal since I'm raging, or do I?
It's not. You don't get advantage on investigation checks, I'm
I
afraid.
think so.
It's only, it's only like perception, stealth, survival, athletics, that kind of thing.
Harry pops his head out of the nice warm hut, looks at the cabin through the doorway and goes, I don't seem to see anything. Pops his head back into the tiny hut with his nat one.
To the untrained eye, you don't see anything. However, there is something. And there are some strange markings here and there that, to the untrained eye, looked like just decoration. Like there's a little leaf, or maybe there's a squiggly line, and maybe there's like a symbol for a mountain. But Villain quickly identifies this as druidic and goes, looks like this was the home of someone named Anger.
Anger? Oh,
Anger Duke.
Anger Duke.
No,
like
just Anger. She kind of corrects.
Then maybe Anger Duke was their pet? Companion?
This... quite possibly. This is a druid's shelter. It's like they may have stayed here whilst visiting.
Druids don't like us
this
very
place.
much.
What if the whale is a druid?
Like they curse themselves or turn into a whale?
No, can't druids? Didn't we see druids turn into animals before?
That's true.
Am I wrong in this, or were they not druids?
That
I
mean-
that would explain.
The one who
Why
brought
the-
Veta back?
Yeah, druids
Be able
can
to turn
into
into a whale,
animals,
though.
but like
Yeah, I mean,
a whale has been a whale
roll
for
a
a
nature
while.
check. Yeah, the
My
Tin
na-
Towners have known them as a whale for a long time. But you can roll a nature check, Barry.
My nature will literally be off the 2 druids we have met in Icewindale.
Hey,
But it's
16.
it's
Okay. In order for a druid to wild shape into a whale, which is like CR8, they would need to be like level 29.
or half polymorph. True polymorph.
Yeah,
Whether that's
exactly. True
out,
polymorph,
out of character.
or like,
I can-
what's the one? Animal shapes. I think is another one.
I can get polymorph tomorrow.
You can turn
Okay.
into a whale. Why
Um,
didn't you tell
I mean,
us?
I
It'd be
could-
super
I could-
useful.
I mean, I can't do it today.
There,
I could do it tomorrow.
there does appear to be more here. It does say Angajuke's favorite food is
Chum.
octopus
Oh,
Octopus.
or octopi, I
Ooh.
guess.
I could turn one of the dead knucklehead trouts outside into an octopus, a dead octopus probably, with
Oh.
polymorph.
Right.
Hear me out. I once picked up a story that I told my son about a whale that ate people, and inside a little wooden boy turned into a donkey.
That seems a little far-fetched.
So maybe you turn into a whale and you eat us, but don't like eat and kill us, and you can take us to Solstice.
Sounds like a reasonable plan.
But don't turn us into donkeys.
Yeah, if I had any preference, I'd turn into a wolf. Just if we're.
I mean, I
waiting
could
for
turn you
me.
into a donkey with polymorph.
But and then turn yourself into a whale and take us to Solstice.
But based on
I
your
can turn
story,
my-
it's only wooden boys that become donkeys, and we're not made of wood, so we'll be fine.
Okay. So here's the thing: if I turn myself into a whale, I will be a whale. Like, I'll be friendly to you, but I'll be a whale. I won't know stuff. Possibly. Unless whales are really smart.
Like you'd have the mind of a whale.
I would have the mind of a whale.
Are they smart? I don't think they're that smart.
I
Not
don't
like
know.
dolphins.
I mean, if it was a dolphin, I could... Dolphins are smart, right? So I'd probably be smarter as a dolphin.
What about a whale-sized dolphin?
I don't think it works that way.
Oh.
As actually, it does mention that Angajuke's also friends with dolphins.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. I could turn into a
Yeah.
dolphin and make friends, if I can remember. Make friends with it.
And
Are there any? I mean,
narwhals.
what do we know, Russell?
Pretty
what
much
do we know
any
about Angajuke
beast?
as a?
I can turn anything into any beast.
Like a dragon. You could fly us across.
That's, a dragon is a dragon, not a beast.
I think for now, what my no, because you wouldn't be smart enough. Wait, dolphins are
Wait.
smart. You said
Wait,
right,
who are you talking about here?
I mean,
David.
Yeah, relative intelligence. Yeah.
but
David's quite
what I'm saying is, if he used this spell to turn into a dolphin, he might be able to talk to Angajuke.
If they speak the same language.
Do all fish speak the same language? I mean, because actually, Veta lives here, and can I just roll a nature check to see if Vet would be dumb enough to say they're fish for one thing? Because they're
yeah,
not.
go on. Yeah, roll a nature check.
I mean,
The mammals, goddamn. Yeah, they're fish in your head. now.
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
Oh,
Nope.
wait,
isn't-
what's this?
Nope.
You've
It's a
got the fucking
13.
reliable sound. Oh, yeah,
You-
okay.
isn't the
Okay,
best way?
Maybe, I think you know the distinction. I think
Yeah.
you know dolphins are mammals, but they have not been to the coast
So
very often.
whales.
Best way
So are
to
mammals. Yeah, so are whales.
the best way to speak to a whale is to pretend you're a ghost.
Sorry, what?
Oh.
What?
You know, you go woo woo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Isn't that how you speak to them? So can
I
you do
don't-
that as a dolphin?
No, dolphins go ee.
Mm,
Whales go ooh.
Yeah, yeah, that's
It's a
quite
totally
different, isn't it?
growl. That's quite
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Right.
So the
May-
dolphin plan and
Maybe we should just
wait.
try ringing the bell and hope that this. Wait. Maybe Ankajuk is an awakened whale.
Or a
Like the
druid.
moose.
Maybe. Why don't we find out?
All right. In that case, we will wait a couple more out. 6 hours it takes for this oil to burn off. They did pour like several barrels of oil into one spot, but
What a waste of
my God,
lamp
it
oil.
takes forever.
While
Russell,
we're
there's just
waiting, I am staying like close to Russell as I have been the entire time, and I'm trying to, if not necessarily make him stay, try and get him to give us as much information as he knows, like even stuff that he wouldn't think is important. So I'm like trading sea stories. I'm going like, don't you hate it when blah blah blah, and trying to get as much incidental information about the sea as I can.
Okay. Yeah, he's already tried to give you a good heads up about like avoiding weird masses of seaweed, avoiding swirls of bubbles. He's talked about several species that dwell in the sea of moving ice, like Merrow, merfolk. But one other than those, he does bring up one other, which he's been perhaps a little bit more reluctant to mention, and that's probably because I don't know. He's got maybe his own fear of it. But give me an insight check, and we'll see. What do we get?
Insight, come on, baby. This is important. Ugh.
Okay, you can roll guidance.
Yes, I
Still
will.
got that.
See if I can get it above
'Cause
15.
12.
No.
There's something. He does seem. You kind of. I will say you don't pick up on the reluctantness, but you do pick up on the. He's kind of quick to like mention like, oh, you got metal, merfolk. You know, just usual sea type of races, sea elves. So he's kind of quick to like gloss over that stuff. Doesn't really get into much detail, but
I will detect thoughts to see if I can catch his surface thoughts.
oh, okay. Well, that'll do the job. Yeah. You get images of razor sharp rows of teeth snapping at him, like right up in your face, and you hear this kind of sound of like men's cries. It sounds as though he is actually under the surface reliving some sort of horror. And it looks very shark-like when he's like thinking it. And yeah, it's fear. It's horror. One that he doesn't even want to share or retell.
I will tell a story about a time that my master of sail and I were caught in a rescue boat after a shark feeding frenzy. And this time that the two of us were stuck sort of overnight being surrounded by a pod of sharks. And the terror of being helpless against killing machines and being surrounded by that and waiting for rescue. Just to see if he opens up.
Okay. Let me see. If
There
you
are
retell
monsters in
this
every
story.
sea. In this sea, yeah.
Yeah, I think roll me a persuasion check as you're recounting this story and trying to get him to open up on this.
Yeah, okay. Persuasion is
There it
Ooh.
is.
Smashed
You,
it.
the this is like your forte. You've spun tales and
Oh, I
fisherman
have sea
tales for
stories. Yeah.
sea
Yeah.
stories. Like this is you absolutely you're in your element as you recount this tale from the sea, and yeah, the feeding frenzy as blood just soaked the water, and men were more eager to drown themselves than be destroyed by these sharks, like ripped limb from limb. You remember there was just screams and then people just dragged beneath. And it seems as though every time you mention one of these gory little details, it strikes a chord with him. Like suddenly looks up, makes eye contact, and you see the look in his face that is one of which is exactly the same. And Russell says, "Sharks, yeah, sharks is one half of the horror that lurks in those waters. Half shark, half man is the other. You've
Wait.
heard of them,
Mm,
the sea devils.
I've heard of, never seen.
Known
What?
better as Sahuagin. They're vicious hunters. They kill for sport. To us, we're just like fish in a barrel,
Eh.
and they take pleasure in it. They'll eat us raw, even in the midst of battle. They'll skewer men and just start biting into them like they're snacks. A feeding frenzy is one thing. This was a slaughter, and we were well armed. But they rode in on their own terrifying reef sharks and orcas. They bloody rode orcas into battle. They capsized several of our rowboats that were trying to escape. The ones who tried to flee were even easier pickings. The ones who stayed and fight, well, those who survived had lost several limbs, that's for sure. But there were some that dove overboard. Yeah, they tried to drown themselves rather than fight the monsters, the devils.
My gods.
Didn't hear their screams. They just disappeared under the waves. Just a gargle of bubbles reached the top, followed by a pool of blood. The seas ran red that day. But they had seemingly had their fill. They weren't even interested in the cargo or the ship. They were just there for the blood sport. And the few of us that survived, well, we sailed back in silence. No men wanted to talk about what happened. There's an unspoken vow that we'd never tell that story.
Ella's gonna put her arms around him, like just over his shoulder, and kind of give it a little squeeze. Just a solidarity hug. I hope we don't run into any. Well, I'm sure those monsters are still out there. The last thing we need. But there's enough devils in the waters without adding to it of the cruelty of humans.
He gives one kind of shaky nod in agreement. And, yeah, well, I pray that you don't. That's another reason to add to the list of why I don't want to go out there. So, yeah. This hut's pretty convenient, isn't it? Keeps you warm. And he seems like he's eager to change the subject back to the warm interior of the hut.
It seems to keep enemies away as well.
A light snow builds up on the outside of the dome. After a while, like 6 hours later, this oil is finally burnt off. And you're well into the night at this point. So you could start taking a long rest, or if you're eager to try and contact Angaduke, you can try and ring the bell. But it's up to you guys. What do you want to do?
Since it's taking 6 hours and I only need that much time for a long rest, can I change out my cartomancy spell to polymorph?
Yeah, I think you can do that. Let me check your spell. How does it work again? Cartomancy?
I can imbue a card, or in my case, it's a skull, with any spell that I have a spell slot level for. So I can do it for any spell up to 4th level, and I have one sort of spell in that
From
skull.
your class's list.
From
So
my
any bard spell.
Any bard spell up to 4th level.
Got it.
And I have it for the
All
day,
right, so
and then
that's polymorph.
I have it to
Yeah,
reset
sick.
every day. Yeah.
Okay, really
So
cool.
I'll
Okay, yes,
take
you can.
polymorph, and for this one, just in case we need it.
All right, yeah, David finishes off a quick trance in that time, no problem.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you're able to yeah, and you guys can, if you spend another 2 hours, you could also all get effectively a long rest anyway.
I would like to
okay.
have rest, just to redo my spells.
Yep. All right, then. We'll say that you just take another 2 hours in the hut, just waiting for the final trails of smoke to wear off. I will say, during that, though, there are creatures that have emerged, and I'm getting some background noise from someone here.
Christ.
I'll just mute Brandee for a moment.
Sorry.
That's all right. I think you got it anyway. So there is a bunch of vultures that have swooped down, and they seem to be picking at the carcasses floating on the water.
Oh, should we let the vultures just have their go?
I'm actually curious if the poisoned fish will poison the vultures.
Well, the thing about vultures is that they have
Carinias.
yeah, they are already kind of immune to poison because they eat so much stuff that's rotten. So they're probably the only ones who can make any use of this. Really, it's a circle of life thing.
Just leave
They are
them to it.
carrion feeders, yes. Then maybe just leave them to it. Let them go on their business. We don't need them any trouble.
Yeah.
And these are giant vultures, I should mention as well. Their wingspan's gigantic. They easily take these knuckleheads and swallow them in one gulp. They don't even have to pick at the flesh. The 2 hours pass. You guys complete a full long rest, and it's at this point Sheila arrives. They caught up.
the entire time.
They were catching up, I think.
It's what we needed anyway. We need to wait for
Sheila. I'll talk to Skrapp when we get back. See if we can't make some electric snowshoes or something.
Yep. Booster jets.
Perfect. You've got polymorph ready, and you want to turn someone into a dolphin or yourself into a dolphin. Perhaps it's up to you.
I think ring the bell first and see if Angaduke will speak to us in case they're awakened, and then try polymorph if that doesn't work.
And in that case, then off you go. You go outside your little hut. The hut vanishes. Phew.
Hmm.
You're heading over.
Yep. But he'll just head over.
Alright. It's a big copper bell that has a donger hanging underneath it. That's what it's called, right? And you
Yeah.
can just hit the bell. All right.
Yep.
The copper bell rings out, and after a few minutes of waiting, nothing emerges at the water's edge. But you see the vultures do seem to be getting excited, or excitable. They seem to be hopping around near the edge of the pool, and their heads are clearly trying to peer down. And like, how vultures do, they're kind of like their necks craning around and
Yeah.
trying to get a better look of
Yeah.
what something's down there, and
Yeah.
they're trying to get a bead on it.
Velen, they didn't, in your reading of what was in the hut, they didn't say anything like I had to beat a specific pattern or anything, did they?
No, I didn't see anything of that nature.
Okay. Vector will also stare into the water to see if they can see anything beneath it.
Yeah, give me a perception check with disadvantage, though. You've got expertise anyway with something reliable talent.
That's
Yep.
my minimum.
Okay, I thought it was, yeah. There is a dark shape under the water. It's impossible to see the full detail, but you can see a moment later this shadow passes underneath, and yeah, it's like a dark, large, gigantic, even shape. Silently moves across underneath the water.
I'll ring the bell and call out Anger Duke.
They take another pass at the water's edge, but this one, like a slower pass. You see, it takes its time very slowly as it goes underneath the ice hole. But it does not emerge. It seems very reluctant to respond.
Any ideas, anyone? Like, do I just ring the bell again? Because it moves slower this time, so maybe it needs 3 rings?
Maybe I can hook it out with my lucky bait.
I could do the dolphin thing we talked about.
I mean, worth a shot at this point, I guess. Unfortunately, I don't think we can pull an octopus or a dolphin from the bag, so...
Or seal.
A seal. You could try pulling a seal maybe from the bag.
I'll pull from the bag. I'll pull from the bag. This should be fun. We throw a fox in?
No!
No,
We throw a reindeer in?
What is going on?
Throw an axe beacon.
Oh no.
Why is it that when we
The
need
one
water
day we need a
animals,
seal. Yeah.
the one day we
One
need a
time
seal
we-
or a knucklehead, we can't get it.
Yeah, like the
No, you
one
only
time.
get walruses on a mountainside.
Yes, their natural habitat. Right, I think we're gonna need to do the dolphin thing.
What if you turn one of these vultures into an octopus because it likes to eat octopus?
I mean, I could do that, but
And then it would eat the octopus.
they would probably eat the octopus, and that'd be
Yeah, but
that.
Yeah, but
No,
that
but then
might
maybe we need
entice it
to.
up.
Yeah, we might need to feed it to get it like an offering.
Wouldn't that just turn it back into a vulture when it's in its mouth?
Yeah.
But
I mean, as soon
pretty-
as it dies as an octopus, it turns back into a vulture.
Chris, this is Barry
crazy.
speaking.
right, turn. Like, how does this spell work?
Okay, so I can turn any one of us or any
Willing
other
creature.
willing or unwilling creature
Yeah.
It's more
Unwilling they
difficult.
get a
to-
save.
Yeah. Into any beast. And yeah.
Is there? Or you could turn one of the reindeers.
Yeah, but
into an
then
octopus.
they wouldn't be smart enough from their base intelligence to communicate. We'd need
Oh,
the
that-
intent,
yeah.
I guess.
So it's any beast that has a challenge rating equal to or less than the target's.
Well, in the small cabin, it said Angajuk's favorite food is octopus, and it said they are friends of dolphins and narwhals.
I could turn into a narwhal. It's probably better for the Arctic to be a narwhal than to be a dolphin. I don't think dolphins would do too well up here.
Is it a narwhal or is it a narwhal?
That's
Narwhal.
just my accents, my
Oh.
dearie, but
Okay, I was
Yeah,
thinking
Tim,
turn
because that'd be
into
two whales talking to each other.
a narwhal and go speak to them, I guess.
Okay.
narwhal.
I guess
Alright,
I'll
do it.
go over to. Is this all solid ice up here? This is all like solid.
Yep.
Okay.
The only part that isn't is this area
Okay.
here.
So I'll go over to like the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Near where it's because I need to turn into a whale, then roll into the water.
Yeah.
Or you could jump and then cast it as you're diving.
I could do that. Yeah. I'll climb up. Oops. Onto this. Looks like it's overneath
It's
above that.
yeah, it's an
So I'll climb
arching ridge.
I'll climb up there, and then I'll jump to dive in and smash the skull against my skull, turning myself into a narwhal. And then dive in.
Right. Smash it against your head, and immediately you transform into the long spiral-horned
I
aquatic
need.
mammal that just
Oh, let me
plunges
just see
into
if.
the water.
Let me get the stats for a narwhal.
Oh,
Because.
I don't even think there are specifics for it, but it's probably the closest is going to be a dolphin.
No, ring the
So
bell and call its name.
I would just say use those. All right.
Yeah, there hasn't
As
been
soon as you-
narwhals apparently official stat-wise since first edition.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Okay, so I'll use
plunge
dolphin.
into the water. You start to see there is something down here, and they are looking a little bit more. How do you say? Concerned. How would you even read that?
Oh.
There.
Oh no, I don't.
there
I don't
is
have the stats. I don't have the narwhal, the dolphin stats.
It's all right. Dolphin. I've got the dolphin right here. I've got
Okay.
the stats for it. See this little guy. All right. So you plunge down into the water. It's frigid cold, and you're looking around trying to spot something, and it does not take long before this creature makes itself known, since
And I'm gonna.
it is massive.
I'm gonna beckon it in a friendly manner. Ah, 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 ah. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. And I'm gonna sort of swim around very happily to sort of invite it over in a friendly manner. If I can, if I know how to do that, because I have the intelligence stats of the dolphin, so I don't know if how.
Yeah, you have the personality of yourself, right? You still can retain your personality, and you do not need to roll for anything for this, since you are appearing as someone that Ankajukes believes is a friend. So you simply swim up, and you start to see other narwhals are down here as well, and they swim alongside, sort of doing a playful twirl in the water, and the massive gargantuan sperm whale starts to hover close towards you. Its eye kind of blinks slowly as it gets a closer look at you, and along the side there are so many scars. It looks like almost like talons have raked down their skin. You can see scratches and bruises all over them. And the most peculiar and bizarre thing you see is that there is a harness. There seems to be straps all over their body and there's like a bit in their mouth as well. It's wrapped up around their nose, and sitting near the spout is actually a rowboat that is encased in this bubble.
Well, that's how we.
And you
That
can see-
solves one question. Okay.
Okay, up, and you see this. This is Ankerju. And you can even see Andy.
Hey, that's me
It's-
beside him.
There you are. Yeah, that's you with the little smile.
Amazing.
I love the tassels.
There's even 2 orcs. One of them's got a pole arm. And there's an elf with a
That's
bow.
Hmm. It's like you were
Right.
made for this art.
We're only missing a dwarf.
Well, there's
They're
the short
too
dwarf
short.
Behind the
Oh wait, yeah,
arcs.
there it's actually, yeah.
There's
in
a
front
short
of the
guy,
elf.
yeah. There's a short guy.
Amazing.
It's just
Perfect.
There. So yeah, and at the front of this little rowboat, you can see there's this beautiful, what's it called, figurehead, and it's that of a unicorn, matching that, like, spiraled
Ooh.
horn of narwhals.
Oh,
I see a rustle on there as well.
the alicorn.
No, you didn't. All right. Ankerju gets closer, and you hear their voice, kind of a little bit gargle underneath the water, but it makes this loud click that is almost deafening underwater, and even those above the surface can even hear it. And it actually makes your rib cage kind of shake for a moment, Veta. That's how loud it is. But the click is that of like a greeting that you would understand as a narwhal, but it doesn't seem to speak common, at least not immediately. And it lets out another kind of click again.
I try to click back. I don't know if I know how to speak narwhal in this form, but I try to click back. Hello.
Okay, yeah. You give off a few clicks back, and there's a general rapport that's met between the two of you that you're just trying to emit, like a I'm friend, I'm not like hostile, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I'm gonna try to direct him to go up to the surface.
All right.
And try to lead him that way if he's amenable to it, because I can't talk, but maybe the other people can.
A couple clicks back and forth builds that rapport, and after a while it does seem that they are trusting you enough to go to the surface.
Yeah.
So
And I'll bop my head up at the surface first to let him know that it's safe.
it's
safe
right.
to go and breach.
As soon as the whale breaches, it takes a massive gasp of air from, its spout. It's going to shoot up loads of water, of course. That it looks like it's been holding their breath for a long time down there. And as soon as that does, the vultures suddenly get a little bit spooked. I'm going to roll Ankerjuke's, I guess, what would it be, con? I will do a con intimidation check. Just to see how much air is. Yeah, shut up. That's a lot. So it's one massive eruption of water. The vultures all back away for a moment, and they take to the air, and they swoop around in kind of a circular fashion. Before Veta, you can tell they look to be ready to dive back in, and you can see their talons stretched out, their beaks open wide.
I shoot.
Yes,
This one.
I shoot as well. I'll shoot the one nearest.
Okay, yeah. You just take shots at the vultures.
Yeah, I'm going to be steady aiming, so I'm going to roll with advantage, because that's what
Scare
Bella
'em
does.
away.
Oh, that didn't roll with
Disadvantage?
advantage.
Why have I got
Probably,
disadvantage?
I'm
Oh,
just
Velen.
I'm going to roll a d20 just to check it wasn't a
There
crit.
it is.
And another d20, actually, sorry, because... Oh, it was. It was a
Why
crit.
are these linked?
Mine was a crit, so I'm going to roll an extra d6 and my
dead.
sneak attack damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's 2 of them.
Dying. Okay, yeah, that's dead.
And
All right. You want to add another 6 to someone else, or?
Well, I
Or
guess.
you could. You don't have to, but.
Yeah, let's. So this one's within range as well. So this one can have a Whales from the Grave, which
Whales from the grave.
actually apparently
Wales,
it's
huh?
Yeah. I was like, Whales.
apparently it's actually out of my range for that. No, that I can
Okay.
see within 30 feet of the first creature. So yeah, I can hit it with it,
Oh.
but
It's not within
it's
30.
no.
All right, don't worry about that then. In any case, at least you blast one vulture clean out of the air. I think that's enough to send the 2 other vultures buffeting their wings to break their descent, and they immediately try to swoop away from this. And Ankajuk, more importantly, sees this. They're a little bit startled at first as weapons and spells go flying, but then they realize quickly that it's actually in defense of them as the vultures try to get perhaps a morsel off of their already scarred flesh. And Gajuk speaks in a kind of almost echoing, clicking tone. Oh, thank you. I think they meant to get a quick bite to eat.
Oh, you can speak our language. That makes this easier. Yeah, well, we're not intending to let them shoot. Vet says as they pull out their arrow, because I'm imagining an 18 survival check is enough that I don't need to roll to get my arrow back.
Oh, yes, I can speak. I had almost forgotten. I had this gift for a long time, but there hasn't been anyone worth talking to.
So I'm fairly new to magical stuff. Still getting my head around that. But you wouldn't happen to be a whale that was magically awakened by a druid, would you?
You've met Anger?
I've met druids who have done the same thing.
Assistant, I think.
Yeah. I haven't met Anger specifically, unfortunately. If they've made such a mighty creature awakened, I'm sure they're a good person.
Anger was my dearest companion. They taught me much. They gave me this gift.
Yeah, well,
In
that's...
return, they asked me to be a ferryman of sorts? A guide, I think she said.
Yes, and it is actually for that very role that we have come seeking you. Right, everyone? I'm not forgetting anything there, right?
Yeah.
We were hoping you could take us to the Isle of Solstice, if that name means anything to you.
Oh, yes, I know that island well. That's how I got these scars in my pectoral fins and body. I have had many near fatal encounters with Oral's rock.
Oh.
Well, if it helps, you would just need to, like, rise up just enough that we can get off and you could stay mostly under the water so they can't get you.
Yeah, we'll protect you.
And we'll drive it off like we did the vultures if necessary. See, the David agrees.
Oh,
David!
that's your name. Nice to meet you, David.
It's pronounced David.
We have difficulty pronouncing their name. They have a very unusual accent that I have not managed to master yet. But
Dave Wow.
everyone come over and meet Angerduke. They seem to be a really nice whale. I'll introduce everyone. This is Barritomus, Ashanti, Hulla, Bits, Sheila, a reindeer, an axebeak, and a fox. And this is Russell, who may or may not be coming with us.
You can't tell me, Russell, that doesn't entice you.
I'm gonna
Have you ever seen that before?
Russell into coming with, going, you've come this far, you might as well at least meet them.
And now you can see that he wasn't just jesting.
It's a bloody talking whale.
Yeah, with a magical bubble on its back that will allow us to sail underwater.
You should see the talking mammoth.
That is
He
true.
edges close to the water carefully. He goes to load his heavy crossbow.
No,
Valin's like, you won't be needing that, dearie. Put it down.
Yeah.
Russell obliges, but
Also, Angerduke, just to let you know, there were some people here before who did intend you harm. They were putting oil into the water and then we were going to try to basically poison you, I think. Or lots of the fish, anyway. We dealt with that.
My friends got poisoned. That
Yeah.
was why I was reluctant to surface.
Yeah,
I saw there were some fish who didn't make it.
yes, I'm sorry we didn't get here sooner to kill those cowards. Or stop those cowards. More precisely. But yes, poor Jeremy, and I thought one of them looked like a Philip, not gonna lie.
Philip was indeed a good fish.
Yeah, but so would you be willing to take us to Solstice? We are trying to put an end to this endless rime and restore things back to normal.
I would happily take you on the voyage, but I should warn you, it is very dangerous waters.
Well, we faced dragons, we faced giant snow crabs, we faced Dwarga, we faced invincible barbarians. We're not unused to danger, right? And honestly,
Yeah, right.
I think you might have to chain Ashanti down to stop her going. She'd probably swim there herself if we let her.
It will take you many days, at least 3 days' travel to the island of Solstice.
But you would be able to take us? You'd be willing for that?
I am willing, yes.
Then
Perhaps if you can catch a few octopus on the way?
yeah, I mean, I've never tried hunting an octopus, but I'll give it a shot. Twangs that bowstring.
And if you ever do find anger, perhaps you could give them a message or
Sure.
tell them that I would much like to see them again. Their company was most pleasant.
I will keep that in mind, and if I see them, I will let them know. Right, guys? Well, that's what we'll do.
So, Hulla, Captain Hulla of the SS Angerduke. Is how it's going to be, or is it Captain Russell?
I'm not going in that thing. On a
Oh.
tiny little bubble. Look at the size of it. It's barely big enough for 5 of you. It's a rowboat on the back of a... Talk about
Right.
cabin fever.
Yeah, it was worth a try.
Right, in that
Only a
case,
few
Russell,
days. Mhm.
a task for you. Can you look after the... Right, if it's 3 days there, 3 days back, can you... Well, actually, can you take the axe beaks back to town and make sure they're safe? Because we're not going to be able to take them with us, and we don't want to leave them out here to freeze.
Yeah, I can do that much.
And...
Oh. Are we going to be able to bring Sheila with us?
Yeah, looks at the bubble, looks at Sheila.
That is an issue, yeah. So...
But Sheila doesn't need to breathe, right?
Oh, here we go again. Walking along the seafloor.
No, I was thinking just hold on to the back end of the rowboat.
Oh, right, just
Do that.
trail them like they're an anchor.
They're,
Oh my
yeah.
god,
It wouldn't.
that is mental.
Why not?
Jeez. That is hilarious.
we tie them to the back of the. We tie them to the front, like they're the what's the figurehead?
Like the
Yeah,
figurehead.
they're the new figurehead, yeah.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Well, but yeah.
Look at that,
perhaps
Sheila.
I think we'll work out the intricacies of that next week, but
Yeah.
you can start coming up with the ideas between now and then. For now, yeah, it does look like though you're not going to be able to fit all the axe beaks, the sled dogs,
Yeah.
and certainly not all of Villain's kobolds. They're going to have to stay behind as well. You've
Oh.
really got only enough room for like 6 people, so Villain is maybe in place of Russell.
I don't think there's anything
if you
that we
want
could
to
do
take
to
her.
convince Russell.
I'll need
we'll
to
take
change
Lynn.
back at a certain point because I can only be in Narwhale for an hour.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's a fair point.
That's fixed, isn't it?
We wanted to
Yep.
Bits might
Yeah.
gonna leave
Bits might have to go with the
Bits might have to stay
No.
back.
Yeah, I don't want Vince to go with Russell.
Yeah.
I just don't trust him.
I'm gonna
Okay.
give
Yeah.
Russell,
I trust Russell implicitly with 100%.
I'm gonna give Russell 50 gold to look at to
Wow.
take the Axix back and look after them.
And Bits.
And partly as a
Everything. Yeah.
thank you for like giving us the map with all the all the warnings and for telling us all about the sea and all the rest of it, and also sorry for kidnapping you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like human
Oh.
trafficking. We took somebody against their will and then paid somebody else. Well, not paid that person for
Yeah.
their return.
Well, to be fair, we did stop before we got out of town and convinced him. It was only a very temporary 5-minute kidnapping.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Alright,
actually just thought of something else, which
But
will be an
also,
interesting
sorry.
discussion after session. Yeah.
He happily accepts the 50 gold and says, "Thanks. I'll keep your axe beak safe in Telgos."
And you've got a story to tell when you're back there.
Do I ever?
Yeah.
Bloody Justin was telling the truth,
Maybe
and more of.
skip the tying you up and kidnapping you bit if you don't mind. I realise we don't have any right to ask that, but at least
I don't
say that I wasn't involved in that because I wasn't.
I don't. There was many witnesses. There was many witnesses.
Well, either way, I wasn't
We-
involved.
we-
No,
we-
was David.
We hope you can forgive us.
The cook even said Sacre Blue.
I've seen 10 towns do worse things to each other.
Do you want
I
the
don't-
chum? Maybe you can do some fishing while you wait.
You can hold on to that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get back as quickly as possible. Alright.
Safe journeys.
Best of luck out there, you crazy bastards. You're gonna need the luck.
Yeah.
Timora, bless you, I guess, and all that shite.
Yeah.
We're more of
And respect,
Hades, but sure.
and respect the sea bitch.
Yeah.
Wait, who? That's not a very nice thing to call the whale.
I think I remember reading that in one of the religious I think that's mentioned in the Hades scripture. Probably some gods not to mess with. Yeah.
You can roll a religion check. If anyone else who's got religion as well can roll that.
I don't have
The
religion. I
name
just
sea
have a
bitch
book.
is a very common
sea
name.
bitch.
The bitch queen. The sea
Bitch
bitch, the
queen.
sea queen.
Do not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense,
What
Hulla.
have we got? Natural 20 with a Hulla. All right. Umberlee, great queen of the sea, is an evil sea goddess, often worshipped by sailors, or rather feared by sailors. She was known as a particularly malicious, petty, greedy, and vain deity. And most importantly, with that Nat 20, you know that she is one of the gods of fury. And she, alongside 3 others, formed their own sort of pantheon that were in attempt that they just sow chaos wherever they go. Oral is one of them, or at least she used to be. Story goes that Umberlee tried to sort of basically betray her, as well as Tempest, and the other one is Malar. But those 4 make up the gods of fury, and yeah, wherever the waves crash into boats, that is Umberlee's domain. That is her trying to make her presence known. People often throw pearls out into the ocean as a way of sacrifice, or what do we call tribute, just so that they can have safe passage. But we'll see. We'll see if I run into her or even followers of her. But I think there's a kind of a good place to wrap up. Russell will take your axe speaks back to Targos. Valin is going to have to say goodbye to the kobolds, who they're gonna look after Bits as well. Do you want Bits to stay in the cabin with the kobolds? There's enough wood to keep them warm for a while.
Yeah.
Or would you like them to go back to Targos? You can leave food here with them as well.
Wherever Valin decides to send them.
Okay. My kobolds don't need to eat, so they can go out and fish if need be, or hopefully Angajuk didn't overhear that. But I'll leave enough rations for Bits, and they can operate the hearth to keep him warm. Keep her warm. All right.
You're a good,
Okay.
good girl. You stay here and guard the kobolds, okay? And we'll be back as fast as we can. You're such a good girl. All right. I'm going to pull a bone out of my backpack and make sure she's got something on.
I guess it's time to jump onto the back of a... Oh.
Yeah, that's the
that.
original map. What it kind of looks like. There's a little cabin you see in the bottom right.
That looks like a boat, of course.
It does a little.
So,
yeah.
strapping Sheila to the front.
Figure that out.
Yeah.
Another time. I've not got the brain capacity to figure out. Well, we're strapping an entire shield guardian onto the back of onto the front.
It might be easier to strap her to the back, because it seems like there's more rope there. Like there's more.
Yeah. What's the opposite of a figurehead?
Fasten her.
A head
It
figure?
might cause less drag as well if she's
a rear figure
at the back,
Butt
so
figure?
that the water just
Figure
flows
butt?
around her if she's sitting down.
A stern head?
All right. Anyway, figure
Yeah.
out the logistics of this next week.
Forget what it's
But,
called.
But yeah, join us. Well, not us specifically, but join this channel for the Jumping Junipers tomorrow. The Mistaken on Tuesday. The Fortune's Fools, as I'm going to call them, because I can't just keep calling them the other Icewind group. And then we'll be back next Sunday, because I believe we're not on this Friday, but we'll be on the following Friday. So, bye for now.
All right. Night night.